the Groovy Jaguars.
The Groovy Jack off.
Is that hard R? No.
The Groovy Jaguars.
All right.
We're saying fake names too, right?
Sure.
Like, I mean, you can literally pick any name, you know. Jose, Juan. There's so many J's. You know what I mean? So many J's.
Is there anything that rhymes with Javier more? Javier.
Xavier.
Xavier.
Fuck.
No, Javier.
Nothing.
Just be Juan.
Slobby air.
Sloppy air.
Slob on my knob.
And, yeah.
Okay. I messed up the intro last week. My own intro. I was playing with the camera, so, but, okay.
Titties. Oops. Sorry. Whoopsie.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tales from the Force. As always, I am Jared, and yet again, we are without our little bald-headed friend. His graduator. His daughter is graduating-ish, or has, I don't know. But anyway, we have some awesome guests to replace him.
Woo, college
so,
co-ed.
why don't you introduce yourself, boys?
Oh, hello everyone, and welcome to the Groovy Jaguar. I'm Brad.
My name is Jose,
And I'm Clint.
and we are the
Groovy Jaguars! Fucking nailed it.
Somebody burned my tortilla.
Nailed it.
That was rehearsed.
My beans are burned. How do you burn
I think you could
refried
pull off
beans?
Clint with that.
Yeah, especially with that look. That
So
whole
hey
look.
guys, how's it been going?
It's been going pretty good. You know, just slaving away at the old slave factory,
The old factory.
Making slaves.
making slaves.
I
Or as I like to call them, the Oompa Loompas.
If we're
Anybody
not,
ever notice that those Oompa Loompas from Willy Wonka were slaves?
But they're just happy, though.
Are they, though?
Yeah, but they got to play
seem
with candy
happy.
all
They
day.
have
I
the
mean,
songs.
I think they feed them with amphetamines. Like, they give them amphetamines to be happy all the time.
I feel like he allows them to murder children, and that's what keeps them happy.
So, yeah, that's what he brings the kids, and they're like, you can kill all of them but one.
Right.
And then he just, they suck that fat boy up on that chute.
did you say something about sucking a fat boy off?
My favorite, sucking off fat boys. Doggy.
wow.
Hey, not as bad as how you were on Saturday night.
I didn't
but
even
Sunday
say
night. Ooh, what color is today?
Let me just tell you. Thankfully that we are the Groovy Jaguars. We
Yes.
can't get canceled for anything we say.
Exactly.
We are not the award-winning.
Correct, Clint, Brad, and Jose, or what was it?
Whatever Mexican name you picked. I forgot what I picked.
Whatever
to be honest.
bean-loving name you
Whatever
chose.
Hey, man.
Spanish yamo you chose.
Me llamo tortilla.
So how's it going, guys?
It's going good. It's going really fucking good. You know, life is great. I haven't had a suicidal thought in 6 hours. Yeah, no, everything's fine and dandy like sour candy.
Do you think they got those signs like at jobs that say
Hang in there.
it's,
with a
no,
cat.
it's been like X amount of days since injury, X amount of days since suicidal thought.
Yeah.
They just have that up.
Hang
posted
in there.
somewhere.
Hang in there. It's a cat like on a noose.
That's checked out.
It's crazy because we just Mental Health Awareness Month just ended yesterday, and we rolled into Pride Month. So we really didn't talk a lot about that. I feel like we kind of should have, like at the end of.
I feel like we have a whole episode that we never released. That's really dark.
Oh yeah, but we were drunk and high, so I mean, it really kind of.
Speak for
episode?
yourself. We never released.
was.
You weren't there.
I feel like we need to be very thoughtful if we have an episode like that. You know what I mean?
True.
Like, if we're going to be
No
talking about it,
drinks.
we got to be very
Gotta be
thoughtful
sober.
Y'all
about
should do
it.
like a little telethon thing and have people call in and just give like their experiences and stuff, and
I've been wanting to actually have a telethon where people call in and
like a good old like PBS style.
well, just
telethon.
ask us for advice. I thought that'd be great.
Yeah, the
That would be
question.
We can do that actually for Arts Goggle. Can we talk about that?
Oh, yeah.
We should do that for Arts Goggle. Do you know about Arts Goggle? We got a booth.
Do you know what Arts Goggle is?
No.
It's Google has this thing called goggles, right? So
They allow you to blink enough to make art with your goggles.
Oh,
and we're going to be part of the
So you use your
launch.
eyelashes.
You
to
know,
paint?
use your butthole.
That is correct.
You're winking your butt.
No, Arts Goggle is one of the couple of arts festivals we have here in Fort Worth, and they basically take over all of Magnolia, and so it's this huge deal. Booths everywhere, music, all the bars are open, restaurants slinging food and things like that.
Yeah.
And we decided to join, and so we're gonna have a booth with Funky Panther. We're gonna do kind of like a live all day, maybe. I don't really know what we're gonna do. We have a few months to figure it out.
All day.
But we're gonna have merch.
12-hour
We're gonna have
episode.
drinks. Well, I mean, we'll be there.
Yeah.
That's
We're not
awesome.
gonna we're not gonna record like a full episode all
Yeah,
day.
you
like
can just
12
kind of record
12
snippets
hours.
here and there.
Dude,
and-
fuck that. I'm going to record as much as we can.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying we're not gonna do 12 hours of an episode.
yeah,
I mean,
you'll piece together an episode.
also, isn't it like? Is it just one day? It's not one day,
Yeah, it's one day.
is it?
yeah.
Okay.
Saturday, right?
Yeah, it's just a Saturday,
Yeah.
man.
I'm pretty sure it's 2 days.
Here's the thing we got to be wary about
Well.
is the bands or like the live shows that are going on, because I'm pretty sure Lou's going to perform. Dustin Massey might perform.
We're gonna
Hopefully.
abandon our booth.
That's why we have other people, other shows, and might haven't go into detail, but
We'll have my mom man the booth.
yeah,
This is the Funky Carolyn.
life advice with Carolyn.
We're gonna sell a bunch of merch. That's the plan. We're gonna have a bunch of merch out there. I'm trying to come up with a baseball jersey. I got the idea. Black and gold, similar to this that he's got on. It's gonna say Fort Worth across the front. It's gonna have the year that it was founded, the last two digits on the front, like where the number for the player would go.
Yeah,
And on the back, I want to do Big Panther Energy.
that'd be cool. Do
That's-
a little
that's-
Funky Panther patch on your sleeve. Or
Yeah, something like that, man.
Do it.
I want to do overalls or like one of those workman onesies.
I want to get like 20
Like
of
coveralls?
those.
Coveralls, yeah. Workman onesie. I want a onesie. I'm gonna wear it.
something. Workman.
Is that what they're
onesie.
called? Workman
Coveralls. They're coveralls.
Workman onesies.
Workman onesies.
All right.
That sounds right.
That's what they should call them. But
I don't know why they don't.
excellent. So, for anyone that's listening, which I'm pretty sure all my listeners know who y'all are, but y'all are a part of. Do we want to say it?
The salsa chihuahua.
Oh yeah, the sassy
Sassy
chihuahua.
chihuahua. For those that remember,
That
We're
was a
part of
throwback.
Call back to like episode 42 or some shit.
That was
Yeah.
26.
Yeah.
Oh, was it 26? Damn, even further back.
We're part of the Funky Panther.
The Funky Panther.
that was our first
I
live show.
I'm part of it. I make up one part of it.
The award winning. You forgot
He's
that
one
part.
turd of the.
No, I don't make up the award winning part.
I'm the award-winning part.
Yeah.
Somebody messaged me the other day that
Javier makes up the one.
JD had his party, and Jared Morrison and other people that we went to school with were over there, and they were like, "Yeah, dude," they're like, "Yeah, you got to listen to your boy's show. Like Javier's like the fucking glue," and I'm like, "Okay."
Wow. They must have been pretty fucked up.
They were.
Because I've never heard anyone say that.
I heard nobody give you praise ever.
Holy
before.
shit.
And with that, Clinton is out. I'll see y'all later.
Yeah.
Just get up and
Clint.
leave. I'm done.
So, fun fact: Clint was an extra in Dallas Buyers Club.
Yeah. I was. I'm not gonna say it. I was a victim.
Hospital
Number-
patient number 3.
At least you're very. You didn't say the other one.
I've kept on.
Hotel room patient.
What's
patient
funny?
number 3.
What's funny is I've kept on with this persona like this entire time since Dallas Buyers Club. So
Well, I'll tell you what, though, that's a
pretty good
really
movie.
good look for you. I mean,
It works.
If I'm being honest.
I mean, it fits.
You're the only person here that could pull that off.
Yeah, there's a
Tim-
lot-
I mean, Chad could never. I could never.
No way
I mean,
in hell.
There's no. You got the mustache for
I
it.
want y'all to though.
No.
No.
Absolutely not.
A hot dickin' is what it was.
I want you to dress like a '70s cowboy, Javier.
You know what? I need to find the outfit. There's a picture of my dad when he was like 21 or 18. I mean,
21.
and he had can you do something for me?
Hey.
He had a revolver in his waistband, and he had like bell bottoms and like some weird looking shirt and like horrible hair. So I was like, man, maybe I should like.
Let's get you some of these pants and let's get you some snakeskin boots.
I'm fucking down. I'm absolutely. I want to embrace that inner chunti of me. You know, like the inner Mexican.
What?
Chunti?
That's what we call Mexicans, like chuntis.
I've never heard that word.
Yeah. Well, because you can't say it, Jared.
Chunti.
Hey, son of a bitch!
I'm one of you.
Wait, is it a bad thing?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh,
That's what
oops.
that's what you call it.
Lo
That's
siento.
our slang. That's our. Thank you. Muchas gracias, Jared.
See,
But man, hey, it feels good to come back on. I know you've been asking me for like the longest time.
You come on this weekend? No, I'm busy.
Always pick the wrong. Like it's always fight night. Like if it's always there's a big fight
I need
going
to
on.
I need to incorporate fight schedules into my into my podcast scheduling.
But I think this is better because I had always thought like all three of us needed to be on because
and it's just getting y'all all in a free evening and stuff, and then plus. With this board, I can only run 4 mics. So with Jared here, I didn't want to have someone sharing a mic and everything.
Yeah, it makes
but
sense.
I was like, this is perfect with him gone because then I have 3 open mics. And then
Like, I love that board, right? I love it. But that was why I went with the one we went with.
that's the
because
only complaint I have about it.
just in case we wanted to run like 8 people, we can.
Yeah, that's the only complaint I have about the Roadcaster board is that it can only do 4 mics. So, but... Oh well, we figured it out.
If you asked me, Jared, who the most talented person on the Funky Panther was, who do you think it would be?
If I asked you,
if you asked the group, like who is the most talented out of the 3 of us?
Oh man.
So you don't want me to answer?
I want you to answer.
We
I want
want
you to
who y'all think you would say?
Yeah, who do you think?
Yeah.
Who do you think we would say?
Individually? Like, this is a really weird question.
I know.
No, I want you.
You
I
like
want your opinion.
Tarantino the question.
Do you want him to choose?
The correct
want
answer
more?
is this. Who do you think they would say?
Who do you, so who do you think is like the most valuable Panther?
Most valuable Panther?
Yeah.
But
probably-
who we would say?
Oh, who y'all would say?
No,
Yeah.
what you would
Probably-
say? You motherfucker! Quit confusing.
Probably
That's what you
Tim,
said.
because he does. Don't you do a lot of the?
I do the audio.
Yeah, but then Chad does the socials, don't you?
And the video.
And then Javier.
I don't do shit.
Yeah.
I think it'd be Chad.
Good thing Jared said he's valuable as shit.
I think it would be Chad because Chad kind of has like his hand in everything.
Yeah.
If Tim wasn't around, Chad knows how to run the board, and like Chad does all the socials. He's really good at cutting the
he would send the
videos.
audio over to Paul and let Paul mix it up.
Dude, recently Tim's came with all the content.
Hey, brother.
He's come all over the place.
I've
He's got a
come-
new studio building.
Dude,
Yeah,
I've come all over the place.
I am so fucking jealous of your new studio.
Dude, are you kidding
Tim's
me?
doing
Like,
all the
your-
shit.
It's getting there right now.
Spot right here is like the perfect size where what we're doing. I think
Yeah.
you could do the same. If you did it the opposite way, like half this way, half the other, you can easily like do like the couch situation.
I could, but I just don't. I don't want to because my old studio. Whenever you two were there, actually all of y'all
I've
there.
been there, yeah.
Yeah, because none of y'all came on when we did the green screen. But
No,
whenever
no.
y'all were.
Fuck! I forgot we're on video.
Oh shit! This is normal. I did forget about video.
I look behind. I'm like, oh fuck!
So
Unfazed.
Chad was actually our first guest on the show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you were official episode number 1.
Yeah.
And then I had that bigger table, and then the mics kept tilting and stuff. So then I made this table, and then y'all used this one, but then I went back to the other table, and these mic stands for
Yeah, you got the same
green
ones that we
screens.
do.
Yeah.
We have, and I love these.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're so sturdy. And
Yeah, they're pretty good.
They're not expensive.
if
They're,
you, turn them
the only,
sideways.
Yeah, the
though.
only thing, you have to keep the base lined up with the mic,
they'll
because if you
fall
do
over.
that, it'll...
These are way better than the like fucking $100 and whatever ones we had.
We spent so much money on this podcast with trial and error. Like we spent, let's get these $100 mics. Well, these are nice, but those $150 mics are 10 times better. Let's get these stands for $100 a piece, and that was discounted.
Discounted.
They're
Your
supposed to be
best
like 150 or more.
I still like those, and we're going to use them in the new studio for certain things, right?
Yeah.
So, like, we were talking about having a couch situation.
Yeah.
And so with that, it's going to be perfect because then we can just have the arm and have it clamped down to like some end tables and stuff like that.
I've got 3 microphone arms,
Yeah.
the real nice heavy duty, like $100 piece ones
Right.
that I don't use anymore because I bought them because I wanted it to all look cool. And then when I started doing video, I was like, the fucking arms block your face.
Yeah, that was a main issue. We had a guest, and Tammy like messaged me
No
during
one
the
knew.
show. She's like, "Hey, great interview. We can't see the guy's face." And I was like, "Oh fuck! All right, cool." And I just fucking
And that
moved
was
around.
mostly because Javier was standing directly in front of him with his pants down.
Well,
But
my fucking
I
hair.
mean,
that's the
elephant.
contribution.
kiss the elephant.
but we'll blame the mic. We'll blame the mic arms.
Kiss
honestly.
the elephant. Yep, that's the one.
Yeah, well, because that's why I asked you. I was like, why'd y'all stop using it? Because I always liked it just because, for me, Russ Martin, seeing pictures in the studios, he always had the mic on.
It seems
and
professional.
Yeah,
Right,
And it
yeah.
seems like a radio DJ, like, oh, yeah, let me move my mic over here. But then you mentioned that, and I was like, fuck, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
I was like, well, got to buy some other stuff. Okay.
Oh no, I'm just looking at my arm placement to make sure. Can't see.
It looks like we're so far from you on video.
Does it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hollywood, baby.
My arms are really long.
Go a little higher with that arm.
But yeah. So I've been
I'm not done yet.
I didn't finish. You selfish prick. But yeah, I'd redone the studio. This is the third version of it, I guess, but I feel like this version feels good, and I don't want to cram pack because when I did green screen, it really cram pack with these lights in there and stuff.
Yeah.
It just made it super tight squeeze and stuff.
Well, man, I love it. I really do love the ambience, and it's really
Say it
Good
like you
size.
Yeah,
It is a
Really
very
good
great
size.
size.
Yeah.
This is my ideal size.
Oh yeah, this is like perfect.
did. I prefer mine a little bit bigger.
A little girthier. I mean, yeah, it's no big deal. I feel like we're hijacking your show right now.
Nah,
You're the guest. You're the host. Host
You're
us.
the guest host.
Host us.
I don't know. I'm
Host
not like
us.
drunk yet, so I'm
True.
like,
I was thinking, man, I wish we could have pre-gamed before.
yeah. Oh well.
I mean, that's what we have
Well, I
right
drank a
now.
margarita at work, but I didn't finish it. So
It must be nice. I actually got onto an employee at work today because he came back from lunch like 20 minutes late, and I'm
Fucked up.
I'm like, dude, where were you, man? I was like, here, I need you to finish this. I was like, I need this done by 3. How long can it take you? It was 20 minutes away, and he's like, 20 minutes. I'm like, yeah, dude, I need it out of here. It needs to leave. And then he like talked, and I'm like, have you been drinking? He's like, I only had 1 beer. I'm like, oh, you motherfucker.
One
No.
beer,
Next
my
time bring me
ass.
one.
One beer, my ass.
But we always have like a 12-pack at work. So, I mean,
yeah.
he just took one of the beers and left with it.
Yeah, but anyway, so I don't even remember that far back, but I know. Oh yeah, you were on again, but y'all never did like a 4-4 thing, right?
I think I
No.
did. I think I did.
I did not.
You asked me.
I can't remember. I think I introduced it by the time you were on.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Anyway, fuck it. We're gonna ask a couple, and
Cool.
then yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, now it's time for the Fort 4.
It's the segment that they ask 4 questions, and it's a fort. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Nothing like the Funky Five or anything like that.
No, not at
Not
all.
not a direct ripoff of y'all. but-
Who said it's a better version of the Funky Five? A better version.
I think we
Lance.
all-
Lance did.
yeah.
Lance was like, "Oh, is it a cooler, better version of the Funky Five?
Well, mine's
listen.
different because I rotate the question.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, we
So
love
y'all
that.
have set.
So you hijacked our idea, so
Yeah.
now we're going to hijack yours, and we're getting rid of our 5 preset questions.
Yeah.
We've talked about it in private, but we're getting rid of them and doing something kind of like what you've got.
Hell yeah.
Except we'll be pulling them out of a jar where it's like get to know them better, but they're
Or
not like
out of
just
an
the same
ass.
5 questions. Or
I'm gonna steal that too. I'm gonna do it first. Damn it! Hold on, I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Y'all are just sitting here for like 10 minutes. Okay, choose one. Okay, so the first one that we always ask everyone, and if you've already answered, then answer again if you want. But what popular song do you absolutely hate?
Any Bruno Mars song?
Really?
I fucking hate Bruno Mars.
love Bruno.
Just a little fucking.
I don't know how he is now, but he was the shit back in the day.
Don't get me wrong. Yeah, obviously he's fucking great, but he was just like so fucking annoying.
Kind of overplayed a little bit.
Don't
and
believe me, just watch. Like, I mean, I mean, it just get. I mean, the funny thing was he was always getting busted for coke, which was
Really?
hilarious. And I
Yeah.
was like, bitch. So,
So
I mean,
what?
yeah, I know everybody does coke nowadays.
We talked about this on the podcast. Like, would we rather these artists not do drugs or anything and be straight laced and get mediocre content out of them, or let them do whatever they fuck they want? It's their life and get amazing content out of it.
Well, I mean, if you were a
So-
fan of Stone Temple Pilots at any point, there was albums where Scott Weiland was on heroin and they were awesome, and the albums that were not so great, he was pretty sober.
Really,
So
I mean, Velvet Revolver was fucking
that was a pretty cool band.
pretty fucking great. You know, I mean, it had fucking everyone on there. It's fucking amazing. He died, right?
yeah. He's
like
been dead
5-6 years ago.
he's been dead for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that was a great voice though.
There's like every lead singer's dying. It seems
Yeah,
like.
man. My favorite. I was going back looking at Audio Slave and like Chris
fuck.
Cornell.
Yeah.
And I remember high school. That's whenever I think it was our junior year, Audio Slave came out.
Yeah.
And I remember getting on their website. They had little snippets of each song, and I was like in love. It was fucking ridiculous. And I would be in Miss Martinez's computer class, listening. It was the coolest fucking thing.
Excuse me.
Chad, you got one?
I don't have a song. I've got an artist. Like, generally, I like songs. I will say, like, I don't really get behind any of the new rap, really. Like, I can't, like, the Little Dirk and Little this and Little that. Like, there's all these. I just haven't really found any rap music that I've liked in a long time.
Lil Peepee.
Yeah, except for, like, the Drake song that drops every now and then, 21 Savage, Local Lou and things like that. You know what I mean? But, however, I'm about to get slapped, but there's one artist that I just have never, I've tried to listen to all the albums. I just can't get behind.
Drake?
Tyler, the Creator. Like,
Really?
I want to love him, and I want to love all his music, especially because both of you do.
Fucking
and
love Tyler.
I can't. I've
I've
tried.
never listened to any of his
Don't
stuff.
listen to Earl Sweatshirt either then.
He
Yeah,
seems
man.
like an asshole, but
He is like kind of
sure it's kind of like a...
It's a persona, I
Yeah.
think.
There's a reason why like DJ Khaled hates him. Because obviously the story is Tyler the Creator's album came out number 1, DJ Khaled's was number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Really bugged Khaled because his whole persona is we the best. I'm the best. That's my life fucking mentality. And
Right.
for you to
Yeah.
get number 2, but his sound has evolved from like album to album. It's very different. So there are certain songs you just have to read into the lyrics, and I get it. I mean, it's not for everybody.
Yonkers is my favorite, man.
Everyone's favorite is
Everyone's
Yonkers.
favorite, yeah.
I need to check out his music out.
But he, like some of the guys from Golfwang, Odd Future, they're pretty fucking talented. And hell, even like have branched off. Like obviously the guy from Odd Future is the baker on The Bear.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't
He's-
know that.
Yeah, he's a part of their crew.
Okay.
Els on Dave. He's
know
part
that
he's
either.
part of Odd Future. Earl
Which
Sweatshirt.
one was Els?
He's the DJ. Els the DJ.
Frank Ocean was too, right?
Frank Ocean is
And I
part
love
of
Frank Ocean.
Yeah, yeah.
I love
Frank
Dave.
Ocean.
Little
The
Dicky
season
is
finale. I need to catch up.
I haven't watched season 2. I watched like the first 2 or 3 episodes, but then I stopped.
I'll say how Tammy describes it. It's cringe all the way around, but it builds up to the end, and it's perfect.
It's I need. Well, I don't have Hulu anymore, but I need to watch that show. He's a guy. New rappers. That's probably my favorite.
Yeah.
He's probably my only favorite.
Yeah.
So
He's great.
So Tyler the Creator.
Yeah, unfortunately.
All right, well, that's sad.
No, I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, everybody's got their
I know, I
tastes,
know. All right, let's start with Beautiful Day, Pride.
So my penis.
I still haven't found what I'm looking for. One, Where the Streets Have No Name, New Year's Day, Angel of Harlem.
you just naming every U2 song.
I fucking don't like you two. I don't like you two. There's a few.
There's like 1 or 2 songs I like from them, but that's it.
the Blue Sky, whatever that one's pretty good. And
Come in the Blue Sky.
yeah, I think that's
I
what
like
it's
Clip
With
in
or
the Blues
Without
Guy.
You just because it reminds me of Friends.
With or Without
and
You is the other
Like the
one. I
Ross and
yeah.
Rachel shit and stuff.
Right.
And I was like, oh.
Yeah, With or Without You, I like that one. And then
You don't like Beautiful Day?
no, I fucking hate
That's on
Beautiful
every
Day.
commercial and shit.
That
great
was
song.
that was that was the first song I downloaded on Napster.
Bullet the Blue Sky. I like that song. Outside of that, those are the only 2 U2 songs I hate or I like. The rest I hate. I don't like Bono, even though he's supposed to be a good person and does a lot of good things.
yeah.
I'm still pissed off that they forced that fucking album on us
Yeah.
with Apple. So, I mean, never forgave him.
Agreed.
Because if you weren't careful, you'd start up your car and then it'd start playing. You're like, what the fuck is this song? Like, God damn it, U2.
Yep.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
It is bullshit.
Yours is still Pour Some Sugar on Me?
Oh, I have a bunch, but my most recent one I had it was Fancy.
Oh,
by Reba McEntire.
Oh,
Oh, Reba McEntire?
I thought you were going to
I
talk
can't.
about
It's so fucking overplayed, and it's just talking about her making her daughter into a little whore.
Oh, okay. It's nothing like,
Is it like beauty pageant stuff?
I don't know,
'Cause
but
those are the real-
I interpret
Those are the
it.
real groomers there.
just a working mom who sucks.
Well, the whole
dick with big
point of the
cock.
song is like, getting her a new dress and going out with the gentleman. You be nice to the gentleman, fancy, and they'll be nice to you. And then it's like, you're just like pimping your daughter out. That's cool.
Damn. This isn't a new song, right?
No, it's an old song.
Okay, I was like,
yeah.
Reba doesn't have any new music,
here's
right?
your one chance, fancy, don't let me down.
Oh, I do know that song. That's a great song. I
It's
didn't
a
never
good-
look
it's
into
just-
the lyrics, but the
Yeah,
you know.
if you listen to,
Well, but maybe
she
it's
was only 14. Blah blah
Oh,
blah.
yeah. Never mind. I was like, maybe she's older, but no, 14. Shit,
Them's
yeah.
were different times,
Yeah, let me
Jared.
verify the lyrics.
I only know about Reba from her show and like her little cameo on the Little Rascals. That's all.
I never watched the show. Jesse loved it.
I watched it when I was dating somebody, but
Have you ever considered what it would be like if we had like, say, rap music or country music, whatever, rock, but what the lyrics would be like if it was like 2, 3, 5, 10, whatever, 2, 3, 5, 1,000 years ago? You know what I mean? Like,
Well, they're rapping
200,
about
300, 500, or 1,000
Vulcan
years ago.
Sabretooth.
Yeah, like, you're messed up about talking about 14-year-olds, but at some point, that's what the Kings were going for.
Oh
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
true.
It's pretty disgusting. He's like, she's too old for me.
I hear
You know
that.
what I mean? It's like, what?
she's like Leo.
I got an old bitch. She's 13.
Oh my god!
But wait a second.
She's only 3 years from the plague.
Is one to say the Kings aren't still going for that? I mean, the 1%. I mean, we got Ghislaine Maxwell. Speaking of her, did you hear? I saw this article. She was in she's in the federal prison, right? Mm-hmm. And she started figuring out this like thing because she's vegetarian, so she got in good with the cooks and was getting extra vegetables, and then was trading them for things that she wanted within like the other prisoners. Mm-hmm. These 2 Cubans found out about it, and they tried to basically blackmail her. Was like, look, we'll go to the warden unless you give us like $300 and something or whatever out of your commissary. So what she does is she goes to the warden, and it wound up those 2 Cubans 72 days in solitary.
Holy shit.
Apparently, those 2 Cuban women are extremely violent, and now Ghislaine has to be escorted to her library job at the prison.
Oh, fun fact! They just released like 4,000 pages of like Epstein's
Yeah.
suicide information. And,
Nice.
all that. I can't wait to see what it's all about.
Did you hear that Danny Masterson was?
Oh yeah, man, that guy's a fucking like. It sucks too. It sucks too because I love the ranch.
I was hoping that was not the case.
So the ranch was such a good show.
I didn't like. It seemed so fake.
It was.
It was.
The ranch?
Like
It was.
soup. I mean, just it seemed so. It
It's
was
a-
almost like a play.
It's a very.
Yeah,
It's
too
a very.
staged. Too
It's a
staged.
very it's a very cliche show.
Yes.
It's like you know what's going to happen.
I
in
started.
the end.
I was like, I cannot watch. This is. Too
I've met
fucking fake.
I've actually met the.
Rapist.
No, I never
Sam
met Danny.
Elliott, your idol.
It's Rapiste.
No,
Rapist.
what is
French.
the man? I can't think of the
Executive
veterinarian. The
producer.
veterinarian.
Oh.
I met
Oh,
the- I met-
Barry
yeah.
Corbin.
Yes,
Yeah,
I've
Whitey.
met him twice now. He's
Shut the fuck up.
yeah.
Where?
He does a lot of the cowboy stuff for like the rodeo and all that stuff. He shows up
shit.
there and does So whenever they do the stock show and rodeo parade, he's
Yeah.
he's there. So I've gotten to talk with him and it was funny. I was sitting in this tent and I look over
He's
and
furiously masturbating.
I look over at the guy and I'm
Hey,
like,
mustache, calm down.
I'm like, man, I recognize this guy, and I recognize him. I couldn't place it, and then people started walking up to him, and then it just hit. I was like, I've seen him on the ranch. Well, he's also been in like 8
He's been
seconds
in like
and
what
a
is
bunch
it?
of other
One Tree Hill,
Yeah.
and he's been on what's that one baseball movie? Bull Durham.
Yes,
Major League.
but he is such a nice guy.
You know, he won the Fourth magazine like actor.
Yeah, he's a Fourth native.
Yeah,
Lives
so-
here, has a house here.
I'd love
yeah.
to meet him. I mean, I think he's very interesting. That's
Very nice guy.
He wasn't inviting you, but
I
I'd
mean,
love to meet him
I'll
someday.
I'll let you know next time I see him.
I'll jack him off so hard.
I'll let him know.
Give me your squeeze, baby. Give me that cream.
I'll let him know next time I see
Oh
him.
yeah,
All right.
macho man. Give me a.
You leave Randy out of this, damn it.
God damn it, Randy's a saint.
Yes.
R.I.P. baby.
R.I.P. Macho Man.
Hey, would you get a tattoo of Randy Savage if someone offered to buy it for you?
I think so.
Yeah, just
Depending
like
on it.
his face. With
It's
the
got to
glasses-
say
with the
snap into a
glasses.
Slim Jim.
Kind of cool.
Him holding the Slim Jim.
like
is-
Yeah.
it with like a snap.
Can I say my favorite little gif of him is him like
all coked out. And
no, he's like doing like an elbow drop on a fucking like guinea pig or a hamster. It's the funniest fucking thing, man.
You're talking about.
I loved his persona.
Yeah, me too.
No, I was gonna say you were asking about tattoo. What tattoo? If he would get that tattoo or not? Did y'all see about the whole El Chingon tattoo thing?
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get it.
I think that Tim and Lance are gonna go get it.
What is the tattoo?
You get a taco tattooed or something?
You get you get the El Chingon like logo, which is like the sugar skull, which is not a big deal, and it says El Chingon. So I mean, like I wouldn't hate that. And then because obviously I'm a badass Mexican, and so and you get free tacos for life. I mean, granted, the business stays in business. Like, what happens if they go out of business in a year? Like, can we sue them and go, "You said tacos for life"?
Yeah, I need like 9 boxes of tacos.
I need all the tacos you've got.
They have a limitation. It's like 15 tacos a month or something like that.
It's 10 per week.
10 per week. There you go.
Which
10
is
per week.
40 per month. That's quite a bit of tacos still.
Yeah.
I could eat tacos.
And the tattoo's free.
Yeah. So weird to just be like, all right, and that's going to be this. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry.
It's like on the other arm, you got like a big old penis on this arm. You're like, oh, fuck, wrong shoulder.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Have a camera
that's
that
for my
take a
other
picture of
freebie.
tattoos.
That's my other free meal.
The sausage
Big old
factory.
saucy.
They sneak a QR code into it to where they can scan you.
It's gonna be $15. The fuck it is.
You end up having too many tacos. That's where they get you. It's going to be a QR code so they can scan it and give you free tacos. But you're going to eat so many that you're going to gain so much weight that the QR code is not going to work anymore. You're
Yeah.
like, haha, bitch.
It stretches out. I have to really work these tacos off.
That sells El Chingon.
That's a lot in.
Yeah, sorry. That's not us. That's not us.
All right. Question number 2. It's a new one. But what celebrity death affected you the most?
Ooh.
What celebrity death affected me the most? Man, that's a good one.
I think currently probably Robin Williams.
That's been a lot of
I
answers.
think
Because I asked it last night on Oso Scholasis, and I think 1 or 2 of them said Robin Williams.
Because like I remember where I was. I had just probably come back from like Colorado maybe, or somewhere. I was working somewhere, and I was listening to Ben and Skin, and they had a cut in and like break into it, and I was like, what the fuck? And then I was like, stopped working on my phone trying to find like sources that confirmed it, and it was just I was like, son of a bitch. Like, it was just pretty fucking devastating.
I think JFK for me.
All right, you fucking immortal.
No. I don't know.
You're all watching him on the TV, and you're like, oh, this man's dead. He's like 3 years old.
Okay. I don't have one. I don't think any celebrity death has really affected me. Like, I was upset when Chris Cornell died,
Oh yeah, I was in Mexico.
but I wasn't like,
No one.
oh my god.
I've never been like heartbroken, but there's been a couple that it's just like, fuck, like, that sucks.
That's
Mortality is
All
a
right.
fucking thing.
like Philip Seymour Hoffman was one that was like, oh, that really sucks. He was great. I liked him. I'll probably say the same thing whenever Morgan Freeman dies.
Or fucking what's his name from
Ray Liotta, I was pretty upset about that. I enjoyed his.
Jeff Bridges.
And if he,
That'd be
if
fucking
he, I
bad.
hope he lives forever. That one will affect me.
Jeff Bridges.
Yeah.
Mine was like Robin Williams and Michael Jackson, probably.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I remember where I was for that too. I was playing golf, and
I was working. I was delivering pizzas for Pizza Hut, and
You're just like, oh, well, these pizzas not going to get delivered now.
the girl I was dating was like, Michael Jackson died, and I was like, holy shit. Told my buddy, he's like, fuck, and I was like, I made a joke. I was like, I bet he made a bet with God, because it was the first time I ever golfed. Yeah, I was like, I bet he made a bet with God, and he's like, I bet that if that Mexican ever plays golf, I'll die. And he just fucking died. I played golf.
wow.
Yeah, I've never had any.
Yeah, I've never really, like, I see celebrities as, like, I hate to say it, but like not real people, because they're like in movies and they're like making music and
they're real
They
people.
do things that you love, but like you've never met them. You know what I mean? It's not like you've met these people.
Yeah.
I can't really get super upset about somebody that I don't know personally. I think that if I was to say anybody, which it wouldn't even him really, but Robin Williams probably as well, just because of how tragic it was, because he comes off as this super happy and he's hilarious, and he was in all of, you know, the movies and stuff like that when we were kids, all these hilarious movies, and you know, that happened, and it was pretty tragic. So I was sad, but I mean I'm not going to lose sleep over it, unfortunately. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if Taylor Swift dies, he's going to cry himself to sleep.
No.
You know,
I mean, I would think the same thing about like Adam Sandler. I think I would think that Mike Myers or
Yeah, I can see Mike
Jim
Myers.
Carrey. You know what I mean? Like all four of those guys have been in so many movies that it's, you know, they're these hilarious people. And if a similar situation happened to them, it'd be pretty tragic, you know?
Yeah, because it's almost like you grew up with these people. It's almost like they're that distant uncle sometimes that, you know, you just relate to. And
Yeah, mom and dad didn't want to watch me, so they just made me watch the TV.
Yeah.
That was my baby.
Watch the TV.
well, I think the big thing is it's like, I mean, you know, John Candy dying when I was young, and being introduced to him in like Home Alone or like Planes,
Uncle
Trains, and
Buck,
Automobiles.
man.
Uncle
Okay.
Buck.
Yeah.
Like I grew
So
up.
good.
I grew up with Uncle Buck.
Canadian
before
bacon.
I need to watch that movie because I watched it as a kid, but I don't remember it at
Me
all.
too. Like the thing I remember is that big fucking pancake.
I don't even remember that.
Dude,
He
it's
flipped.
really. I've watched it several times since.
I've heard someone
and
else
it-
said that
it
that's
is
their favorite
really
movie.
fucking good. It's a good movie.
And they renamed like Canada's like Oscars. They call them the Candies, just for him. And I think that for me, like growing up, that was a big deal. But it's weird too. Like even musicians, like that really affect me. Drake has a good line. He said, "I didn't cry when Pac died, but I know I will when Jay does." Like Jay-Z, Hove does. When I know I will when Hove does. So I don't think we've seen somebody that has affected us like our life.
You're right. That's a really good point because when we were young, it's like they haven't been in our lives that long.
Yeah.
And now the people that are dying and things like that are people that are either so much older than us or they're super young because it's drug related or something like that. There hasn't been a whole lot our age, someone that we've been with for 20 years. That makes sense. I get that.
I feel like for me, Eminem and Arnold Schwarzenegger, when those two pass, that's going to be like, fuck. Like,
And you don't realize like kind of close. I mean,
yeah.
De Niro,
Arnold's, getting up there, and he's
You
looking
see him
kind
now.
Arnold's in
of
his 70s or something like
I
that.
think so.
76 or 77.
I started watching the new show on Netflix and it's
Fubar.
Is it the? Oh, I haven't seen it. There's a
great.
documentary coming out or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, on
that
Netflix.
I'm just like, I'm keeping Netflix till then, and then I'm probably gonna cancel it because all this password sharing shit. I'm just like, get over it. Fuck.
Suck my dick.
Yeah.
people are just going to cancel.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
It's going to
getting
have
so
the reverse
ridiculous.
effect.
Have
and
you
then they'll
seen?
go out of
Have you seen the
business.
tweets that Blockbuster's been doing?
I've seen some of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did one about that password sharing thing, and it was like, we never minded when people shared our stuff. In fact, we encouraged it.
Just return your movie on time.
Yeah, I was
Exactly.
like, damn, from the grave.
Did y'all go to Blockbuster's kids, or was it
yeah.
like the
Hell
off-brand
yeah.
Well,
stores?
I went to River Oaks. I went to the
River Oaks Movie Rental.
that's where we went. We had a membership. It was. I mean, I lived so close that we could. I literally used to walk to it. Right?
Yeah.
and
We
then
never went there.
when that
No?
closed down.
River Oaks Top 40.
I didn't go
No.
to the top 40. I went to
Yeah.
the River Oaks one that was
I
in
think
between.
they probably pissed my dad off.
It turned
and then-
into top 40.
Yeah.
there was
It was the same one.
Was it? Okay, there was
River
two-
Oaks went out of business.
Yeah.
It turned to top 40.
There was two movie rental places in River Oaks though. At one point, there was one right there next to the Whataburger.
Yeah.
where
Yeah,
it's
top
at.
40.
Yeah. That was
Or-
the top
and then,
40.
and then there was
Oaks.
one that was like a smaller one down, like maybe Merritt and River Oaks Boulevard.
You're a liar.
No,
I don't
No one
remember
remembers
it,
this but you.
it was. We didn't go there.
My
'cause
parents just went to Blockbuster.
it was small and they didn't have shit.
So
That's that guy's house that invited you over all the time with the candy. That's
got
who it
9
was.
movies,
He
kids.
had movies, but he wasn't a rental place.
He always let me take
Got
it
3
home.
ninjas.
oh my God.
It was weird though. Like I'd put in 3 ninjas and then it would go fuzzy for a second there, and there he would be.
Take your pants off for Uncle Andy.
in his underwear with his necktie around his head.
Time to knuckle up.
I was like, that's weird.
Nice tie-in.
It's funny because I like the girl I was. This is fucking stupid. To keep talking about the dumb bitch, but it's like the person I dated before was like not before because obviously it's whatever. Anyways, we went to both new movies and shit for Blockbuster.
Yeah.
N64 games and older movies at top 40.
Yeah.
because they were the only place that had N64 games and
never went
older
there.
movies.
I never rented
and a
video
nudie
games.
section.
They had a nude. Yeah, they had the nudie section.
I remember my
remember
friend.
that.
We were chasing each other, and we accidentally ran in there one time. We were just like,
It was like
and
a
they're
closet.
like,
It was
"Get out of here,
tiny.
kids!"
I got a
Like,
question for you. What was the first time that you saw like titties like in a dirty magazine?
in a dirty magazine over at Chad Long's house.
Chad, fucking Chad
His
Long.
mom had a subscription to Penthouse,
What?
and she got it for the article. There was some thing in the mall where they were, giving away magazine subscriptions. So I'd go over there, and he'd pull out these penthouses, like, cool. I was like, that's what it looks like. I was like, what are you doing there? And he's
Where's
like,
her
I don't know.
hair?
I think peeing them or something.
Oh my god.
And-
Oh yeah.
we always
Penthouse,
got into
duh.
stuff. His mom never cared what we did, but I don't know if it's that she didn't care, but she never would catch us. Like he would open like his Christmas presents. He had a Nintendo 64 game, and when she would go to work, he would untape the end, pull the game out, play it all day, and then put it back right before she came home. And I was like, whoa. And then another time we were renting movies, and I heard my mom probably told you all this story, but talking about Pulp Fiction with her friends, saying, "Oh yeah, it's not bad. It's a little bit of violence, a little bit of sex, everything." I was like, "Oh, sex in there. So I told Chad, I was like, dude, get your mom to rent Pulp Fiction for us. I was
Not
like,
the
I heard
kind of
there's
sex you wanted.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So then we're watching it, and I was just like, that's not sex. It's like, and then, you realize that the only sex in there is a little white man anally raping a larger black man. So
And there's a gimp.
Spoiler alert.
I've got a good magazine story.
Ooh, yes.
Okay.
So back whenever my dad lived in Crowley, which was like a block from you, Javier and I played roller hockey with each other before we knew each other. I would go to my dad's house because, my parents are divorced, so I'd go there for a couple of weeks in the summer. And so one time we found a Playboy underneath my dad's bed, and it was Sable from WWE. And back in the day, we were so into wrestling, and we're like, holy shit, this is the best thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And so they left to go to work because we're there for the summer and they're still off to work. And so my stepmom and my dad left. So we have 8 hours. We're like, hell yeah, let's go get this magazine, check it out.
Whack off for 8 hours.
No, maybe. I don't know. So we went to go get it, and there was nothing. I guess my dad knew that we had seen it, or maybe he moved it, and so we're like, fuck, what are we going to do? And so I'm like, okay, if it's not under the bed, it's got to be somewhere here. And so the only thing locked in their entire bedroom was they had one of those bathrooms where it has dual closets. Yeah. And both of them were locked. I'm like, those fucking magazines are in this goddamn closet. And so
it's like that National Treasure.
Yes, exactly. I mean, it was a whole thing. So we were looking for the key, trying to figure out what we could do. And I was trying to pick the lock. I'm a fucking kid. I'm not going to pick this lock. So I'm trying to pick the lock. And I'm like, you know what? I bet you there's a key hidden. Sure enough, there was a key hidden
probably on top of the door frame.
Top of the door frame, but high up there. We had to get a ladder to go and get it. And so we got this key, and I don't remember which one of us were like, the key's up here. And we grabbed it and slid it, but there was a hole that goes straight down the wall. And so we dropped this key down the wall. And so I'm like, all right, so it's in the closet. Okay, I didn't realize how fucking walls worked, right? I didn't know that there was it was in between the two sheets, right? It is in the wall. And so I'm like, all right, we have to get this closet or else they're going to know that we were trying to look for this key. And so I get back to trying to pick this lock because we have no other option. I picked a lock at age 14. I swear to God.
Little thug.
14 years old, I picked this lock. And then we realized the key's not in there. It's actually in the wall. We're like, fuck. But while we're in here, we might as well check. We found a whole bunch of magazines. We're like, hell yeah, here we go. And we're looking through these. Of course, we've spent hours. We've been at this for hours now. And so we don't have much time. We're looking through. I'm like, oh, this is cool. We found the Sable one. And I think there was a Pamela Anderson one too. And I was like, hell yeah, this is all right. I love this. And then we put them back. We locked the door. And then we went back to playing. And then, it was the perfect crime. No one knew. Except my dad gets home, realizes the key is gone. We're like, I don't know what you're talking about. What key? What? And we even tried to get refrigerator magnets and put them against the wall to try to pull this key up. We are so stupid. We are so dumb.
These horny fucking kids trying
to.
I said magnets.
Y'all have boners.
We tried so hard. You got to give us an A for effort. And so my dad comes home and he's like, I know what y'all did. And he was fucking furious, furious. And I didn't understand why. I'm like, there's fucking magazines, whatever. Didn't realize he had a shotgun in there, and he was pretty worried about that. So rightfully so, he was upset. But we didn't know. We weren't there for the fucking gun. If we saw a gun, we would have completely ignored it. We were there for the fucking magazines. You know what I mean?
See titties, Dad, not bullets. No.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever told that story. That was a weird day.
Did you ever get the key out of the wall?
No.
It's still there to this day?
Well, they had a spare key. So he had his key on the keychain, but the spare key was above just in case.
Well, now go jack off, Chad. Thanks a lot.
How did he know that the key was missing if he had his own key?
I don't know.
Maybe
he was just looking for it. Maybe, we're 14-year-old, 13-year-old kids that we're playing out in the yard. Maybe we looked like we did something wrong. We're looking,
he's looking
over. Throw the ball. And so he's like, fuck, they did something stupid.
Yeah. Why do you all have hard-ons?
Right.
He pulls up and you're like, hey, Dad. I'm like, they never say hi to me.
He never says hello. Yeah, he probably knew we were up to something.
I love you.
Hey, Dad, we didn't go in the closet.
If that's what you're worried about.
Yeah. So.
Can't get through the day without looking at the porn and whacking the wiener.
I mean, that's accurate.
That's perfect. Well done.
You started telling the story. I was like, oh, I got
You
this.
got it queued up. You fucking genius.
I was going to use it on Javier, but
I'm the one that.
3 times
surprise.
a day keeps prostate cancer away. So,
really?
yeah, so they say.
Yeah, but one drink, it leads to her blowing you or something like that, I think. And 2 drinks.
What?
Have you not heard that lady?
No. Oh, wait.
Oh, man. You got to look up her.
Oh,
other
y'all were
videos.
talking about her
Yeah,
more.
I was talking about me. 3 jerks.
He's
I
talking
know.
about actually a health thing.
And then
Yeah.
you're okay.
Yeah, well,
I'm confused. When was the first time you saw porno magazine? Or
man, I don't know when the first time I saw a porn magazine. I can tell you that the first time I saw porn of any sort was Charlie Terry.
Of course it was.
of course,
Fucking
Look,
Charlie Terry.
you talking about Long's mom not caring?
yeah. His mom was probably like,
Yeah,
whatever.
dude, she didn't care. That house, man, that house, like you listen,
I've heard stories.
that house was trashed. Darren and I used to go in there. Like Darren, myself, and I'm not going to say his full name, but Mike lived right around the corner.
Yeah.
And we used to break into his house all the time. Like
What
Y'all are
the
good
fuck?
friends.
Charlie and them would be gone. They'd be gone at the lake, and we're like, Darren and I would be bored, and we'd get Mike, and we'd go break into the house, and we ate all their pizzas, all their frozen pizzas one time.
Jesus.
Like, I mean, it had a freezer full of frozen pizzas. We just ate them all. And I remember they had this fish tank that didn't have any fish in there, and we dumped a whole bunch of hot dogs in there.
That's so jacked up.
But yeah, so I mean, we used to do all that shit all the time, and it's funny to know like where those 2 individuals have ended up in life, and I'm just like, wow.
Man, his sister's titties were huge. I remember
they
in
were
high school.
nice.
I was like, man, I want to
Samantha,
see those. I
yeah.
want to see those fucking warlocks.
But anyways, he had a he had a video like on DVD, and so I was like, hey, can I borrow that? And so I was probably like maybe 16 years old.
Nice. He had a video of it was Samantha and some other girl and showing their boobs, and then he showed it to me. I was like, dude, that's so cool. And she's all like that, and then her friend's like, and then Hunter or Gunther and
Oh, Gunther. Yeah. I remember Gunther.
Coffee shop Gunther, yeah. No.
yeah.
Gunther, I believe is how you
yeah.
pronounce it.
Really good espressos.
But he was all like doing commentaries, like, "Are you as sad with my boobs as I am, or whatever?" Because the look she had on her face.
God bless the days of Girls Gone Wild. You know what I mean?
I will say, like, I going in high school, like, I always thought the things he did, not the guy you talked about, but the guy I was like, man, he could be canceled right now because of the things. I was like, he's the only guy that can get away with.
He did so much fucking shit, and
he really did.
I hung out with him a lot.
Yeah, me too.
and
Me too. As a matter of fact, one of my favorites, the first time I ever got into a bar when I was like 17 was at the Red Goose, and it was me, him, and my brother and another friend of ours. And so we were going to go watch Batman Begins, and then we went over. No, I was with you. We were drunk for Batman Begins.
Oh, yeah,
We went to
that's
watch another movie. And he grabbed the lock, the door, the side door to go down from upstairs to downstairs.
Yeah.
He pulled it open. We ran inside drinking, got drunk. The only reason we got kicked out and no cops were called, he was hitting on the bartender. And so then
Sounds
they're
like
like,
him.
they're fucking kids, get them out. And I'm like, fuck, we're going to get in trouble. And they didn't tell the cops because we were fucking 17.
Yeah, they
And-
could have gotten in trouble for serving minors.
Yeah,
so.
we were fucking shit faced, and so we were driving home, and he fucking puked like behind, like he was in the backseat of my car. He fucking puked, and there was a big triangle of vomit. And then after that, he's like, "Dude, I can't go into your car, even though it was clean." He's like, "I still smell my vomit."
He had those little quirks about him.
Yeah.
It was so weird,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it was so fucking funny.
And now he's got a daughter,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw it. I'm like, dude.
and she's very adorable. Like,
Yeah,
you
he
know,
posted a picture of her on his story today, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh,
yeah, but
so
he's still
yeah."
he's a cool guy.
He's come a long way.
Yeah,
he was a miracle.
he's got a
story.
handshake and everything. It's fucking
Oh yeah, he had a
fantastic.
handshake with everyone.
Yeah, yeah.
He used to spend the night, and I'd spend the night over there, and we did a lot of shit. I remember he bought a wrecked Honda Civic from a guy over off of Isbell for like $175.
God damn.
And it was like a 4-door, like 91 Civic or something, but the back end was all smashed and the windshield wiper things were all bent. So whenever you turn them on, they go, it looked like this weird little arms dancing. But I remember we were driving it home and Gunther was all excited. He's like, oh yeah, Civic. And they got home and they looked at it like, oh yeah, it's pretty cool. And they sat there and he never did anything with it. So
I saw Gunther the other day.
Typical
Really?
Gunther.
Yeah, I talked to him a little bit. It was
I
at
haven't seen him in years.
shit, where were we?
me
Pluckers, south side of Fort
Nice.
Worth, the new Pluckers.
Oh.
I have not seen him in years. Here's another one that I used to spend the night and we'd go driving around because I had the car, so they all were friends with me.
Yeah.
But
Dude, so my mom found that porn video, the one that I had borrowed from Charlie. She found it.
really,
She
Okay.
so I had it in a I had a PS2 or whatever, and so I didn't have a DVD player. That was my DVD player.
yeah.
And I can't remember where I was at, and my sister came over and had my niece, and my mom was gonna be like, "Here, you can go play his PlayStation to keep her occupied," because she was like a little kid, and that's how she found it.
No.
And I was given.
How do you play this game?
and it
I'm
was-
winning.
And it was handed to me, and was like,
There's sweet cream coming out.
it was handed to me, and like told, "Get rid of this."
Yeah.
And so I had to, destroyed it.
Damn.
So
Aw, that's so
Yeah.
bad, Tim.
I was probably like, it was like 16, 17.
What was your first time? Javier?
6 years old at the bazaar on Henderson, and they had
Of course,
they
at
had
the
a
bazaar.
They had
So
a box.
anticlimactic.
Yeah, I mean it was.
I was 6 at the flea market.
They had a box of
So
old
titty.
Playboys, and me and Gil were going through them, and I specifically remember the first page I opened up to. It was a lady in like leopard print, and like I was like, why is there hair there? And and then the guy's like, hey, you're not supposed to be looking at that, and I'm like, I was like, I thought they had lions in it or some shit like that.
Lions?
Yeah, because the page was a girl, a woman in like spotted makeup, like a leopard or something.
So you were a bad liar back then.
Thought these were
Yeah,
zoo
yeah,
books.
And then he snatched them from us, and then thank God our parents were like looking at other shit because me and Gil were just like went back like to what we were whatever doing.
That's great.
I remember, I think I was in the 2nd grade, and Binders, I guess, just came out. I don't know. Have they been out forever?
I think they've
Trapper
been out
Keepers?
since
but they
the dawn
got
of time.
popular or something.
There's always
Jesus had the 10 Commandments in a binder.
Yeah.
Will you
Wait,
please
did he have
hand me
anything
my
to do with-
multicolored Lisa Frank's
Yeah,
So-
binder?
that's how teenage Jesus carried the 10 Commandments
Yeah.
with him. You know?
So I got my first binder, and I thought it was so cool. And it was a purple Lisa Frank one with these tigers on
Sure
it.
enough, yeah.
And
Oh,
the
shit.
tigers were all rainbow colors.
Of course they were.
And I was just like, oh, man, I finally got a binder. And my friend was all, it's stupid. And I was just like, man, because my mom picked it out. So,
They used to have Velcro and everything too.
yeah,
though.
it was like, and then
Yeah.
you open it up. Oh, it's a beautiful
Sorry,
thing.
Jared, I spilled beer in your.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, all of these beers are just overflowing with fun.
Yeah.
Yay.
Did y'all? Because growing up, I went to Crowley. Did y'all have those things at your school where you like paid for multicolored pencils? Like, and
They
came in
had
little,
I don't remember. It was like way later on.
What?
and the
Yeah,
cool
like a
thing-
like
fifth
a
grade.
like
Or
a
maybe it's
gumball
in the-
machine type
Yeah,
thing,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
It was in middle school, I think, that we
What?
had them.
We did. We had it in, what do they call it? The Lion's Den or some shit? Like
Yeah.
a place you can go to like
Oh,
get
yeah.
snacks.
I
and,
only
like-
went in there to get chips.
I only wanted
I
there to
never
get
went in
pussy.
there.
No, in elementary school, they it was the big thing was like getting what kind of pencil you got. And
If I ever had an extra quarter and then I did it and I'd get like a rainbow one, I'm like, oh man, I'm gay. It's like,
Yeah, that's what makes you gay, actually.
I know.
Yeah.
It's
The
like,
gumball
damn
machine
it.
that dispenses pencils.
Happy Pride Month, by the
Yeah,
way.
it tells you.
Yes.
We can all get our rainbow
Happy
pencils.
Pride Month.
It does tell you.
That was beautiful.
This episode brought to you by Pride
And Lisa Frank.
and Tigers.
So how many questions have we done so far?
We're gonna count that one. And let's do Tim, you pick one.
Now, motherfucker.
go to sleep, bitch. Die, motherfucker. Die.
We should have all just worn helmets. I mean, it would have been incredibly hot.
I really want to do that one time. That would be fucking cool.
All right. If you were a dictator of a small island, what kind of crazy things would you do?
I would reenact Prima Nocta. No, I'm kidding.
What's prima nocta?
It's I got it from the first Iron Man. He's like, it was whenever it was Age of Ultron, and he's like, if I can lift this hammer, I'm going to reenact Prima Nocta. That's where before you get married, the king has to have sex with your wife.
What?
But I wouldn't do that.
That sucks.
But I don't want him to.
I would make the people act out the movie The Room.
Hell yeah.
I would make them
Broadway adaptation.
No, I want them to act it out perfectly, or they die.
Good
Oh,
Lord.
Lord.
You are a dictator, my friend.
Look, dictator brings out the worst in me.
Fuck.
Dictators? Taters made of dicks?
I mean, the question said, what kind of crazy thing would you do?
Yeah.
Um,
I'd do something
So
similar.
do the question again. Is this like how many people are on this island? How small is it?
It's up to your imagination.
Okay.
It's like a Family Guy thing where
Choose your own adventure.
Nice.
It's a small island. We'll say it's about the size of Rhode Island.
Once a month, we would have like a designated party, and I would require them to have a different flash mob for me every month.
that's awesome.
I mean,
Just
I'm
a
gonna-
little synchronized dance routine that comes out of nowhere, and I'm just like, yes. Okay. Now we feast.
I'm gonna be like Kim Jong Un. That's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna be like the hermit dictator, man. I'm just gonna make him do weird shit.
You can only have 15 different haircuts.
Chad?
I think that I would create a self-sustaining island that had all of my friends and family, and they had to be there with me. All
And
the
they had to have sex with each other.
No, nothing crazy. I mean, you can come and go as you please, but like everyone's houses would be there, and then we'd have we'd have a runway where people can go and do things, but we'd also have we'd have a party every year, kind of like Fire Festival. You have like these big ass.
We know how Fire Festival went
Yeah,
down.
but like a good one. And then we wouldn't have money because we live on our own island, so everyone just has to pull their own weight with the goats and the cornfield and things like that. We just live out there, living our best lives.
Yeah, but how are you
Oregon Trail
gonna get people there though? Is the thing.
I said I have a runway.
No. I mean, you're
I
the
have a
dictator.
runway on my island.
But
I'd live there.
how are you gonna convince them to come?
I'd live there.
By having houses. I say, hey, do you want to live on this crystal blue water for free?
Yeah.
All you have to do is
farm
a little bit.
and party with me.
Come on.
I don't know.
I'd do it
feel
for
like
a
there's-
fucking heartbeat. If
All
Murray
right.
can come, I'm
Yeah.
there.
Wait.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Can we make people reenact the room?
You want to be my VP? Is that what you're? I just want to have some kind of power, please.
Look, I want to go down in infamy.
I need some control.
What about you, Javier?
I think we'd have to have like a WrestleMania situation where every year
Every year you bring your
people
favorite
create
wrestlers.
their own storylines. Everyone has to make their own storyline. And
You want fake drama?
fuck yeah. Yes, because it turns into real drama. But I would have that, and they'd have to wrestle one night and air their grievances, and just
So Festivus.
Whoever wins the fight gets the big house.
No, I think
He's like, fuck no, I'm not giving that
everyone
up.
gets belts. Everyone gets heavyweight belts or whatever weight class they're in.
Okay.
And so that's
I do almost different level of houses, and then you could challenge someone that has a bigger house than you. Once a month, there's challenge day, but it's not like a fight. It's like an evenly.
It's
thing.
all murder.
I was like, man, this is getting good. I like
To
where
a
this is
murder
going.
fight. And they have to be naked, but
Jesus.
they can challenge them. And then if they win, if it's a IQ test or something like that, then they
The
get that
challenge
bigger
going to be an
house.
IQ test?
I mean, something that I would deem fair for both, that they would both have a fighting chance at.
You both have to sing my favorite show tunes.
Yes.
Hello,
And I'm
my
not going
baby.
to tell you what
Hello,
it is.
oh, my baby. Oh.
That does not please me.
No.
You lose.
Next.
But I want the big house.
It's
Man,
astounding.
It would be a fucking,
Time
it would be
is
a
fleeting.
fucking
It's like, yes.
dream to have an island. I realized
fucking
whenever I was on this cruise and whatnot recently, the water is my place. I love scuba diving, I love fishing, I love just being near the water. If I don't die near the water, I'll be pretty.
Did you
We can
Castaway?
make it happen soon.
Yeah.
Did you like Castaway?
Dude, I would fuck that shit up on Castaway.
You
Hell
jack off on everything.
No, like, did you like the movie?
yeah, I like the movie.
Look,
but like I would love to be in that position. I think maybe.
Chad believes. Listen. Chad believes if he was in a plane crash that he would be the lone survivor. He's got this belief that if the plane was to crash,
Yeah,
And his
He is
phone
gonna
would
survive.
probably survive somehow, and then
I-
you figure a way to charge it, and then you
Right.
document it.
I had that whole
Day 432
conversation
on the island.
at the cigar shop the other day. There was like a bunch of old dudes, and they're talking. Some of them were talking about how they don't like to fly, and Mitch was saying he didn't like to fly because they're scared of it. I know you don't really
I
like to
fucking
fly
hate
either.
flying.
Like I was like, well, I'm a psychopath. I just know that if it was to go down, I wouldn't even sweat. Be like, okay, everyone get near me if you want to live, because this,
Come with me if you want to live.
whatever happens to this plane, wherever I'm sitting is going to be fine.
I'm
Just
going to come.
Come all over your island.
what was that?
Oh my God.
What was that movie? Was it Mallrats where they're talking about the?
I've never seen Mallrats.
I think it's Mallrats.
What?
They're talking about
Why not?
how the one guy
Mexican,
like
I don't know.
the plane was going down and blah blah blah, and so they all like everybody started like furiously masturbating, and
Come
then
on.
and then the plane recovered, and then nobody talked about it. Was it Mallrats? I feel like it was
I feel
Mallrats.
like I've heard that before, but I can't remember.
It was Mallrats. It was because then there's like there's some things we can't talk about in public, or you don't talk about in public, whatever. It's Mallrats. It's definitely Mallrats.
So I saw the Jay and Silent Bob movie, the Strikes Back, whenever they first had their own movie. And then I was like, these guys are funny. And then I found out they were in all these other movies. And I was like, wow. So I went back and watched them. And then all the jokes in that one made sense when I saw the other one.
like
Oh, yeah?
Clerks,
Like would you
Yeah,
like a chocolate
all the
pretzel?
Kevin Smith stuff.
Like
Yeah,
that's something from Mallrats.
Really?
Yeah.
I was always confused.
Yeah,
Brody.
all the jokes make sense once you watch the
Yeah.
older ones.
Okay.
The I mean,
Son of a bitch.
what's it called? The picture where you have to cross your eyes to see it or whatever.
Oh,
yeah,
the
like
I
the
Spy?
3D art.
It's a
stuff.
sailboat. The
Yeah.
guy gets all pissed off. Yeah.
It's a good movie because
is. Chasing Amy's a good one.
yeah, Chasing Amy, that's a really good one. It's more of a serious tone one, but and then Clerks, obviously, Clerks 2.
I even like Clerks
Clerks,
3.
Clerks 3.
I enjoyed
haven't
it. It's good. It's
I haven't
funny.
seen part
It's
3
not
yet, I
good.
don't
It's funny.
Yeah.
wasn't even the one with like Matt Damon where they're angels.
Dogma.
Dogma.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's I was like, I'm missing one.
Yeah, that was
Dogma.
included as well.
That was a really good one too.
I forgot
Geely.
about that.
Are we counting that?
What?
Geely.
Geely.
The other
Ben Affleck and Jennifer
Affleck.
Lopez.
Oh,
I don't think Kevin Smith was involved in that one.
no,
I mean, yeah, he was.
have y'all ever seen Kevin Smith live?
no.
No.
Like-
I went to an evening with Kevin Smith.
Oh, really?
Up in Denton one time. It was pretty cool. His flight was delayed, and he got there. He's like, "I'm so sorry, guys," and then he would just fucking ramble on and tell stories.
That's awesome.
And it's just people in the audience would just ask him a question, and then he would just start rambling and rambling and rambling and
His
rambling.
podcast is pretty entertaining.
Yeah, I listened to it for the longest time. I haven't listened to it recently, but once it got COVID, they just kept doing like old episodes and stuff. So I quit listening about.
Did you
that
see the
time,
one
so.
with him and Bert Kreischer? The podcast.
No.
So Bert was like describing movies because he can't remember movie titles.
Yeah.
And so Kevin Smith was like, "Oh, blah 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 blah," whatever movie it is. And so then it got to a point to where they were just like, "Okay, so how would you describe what would be the title of this movie?" And Bert would just ramble, some sort of title. And then Kevin finally got to the point he's like, "You know what? I'm just gonna be your translator from now on." It was fucking great. I love Kevin Smith, man.
He's awesome.
He's kind of a.
Who's y'all's like dream?
He kinda looks
guest to have
weird,
on
though.
here?
Dream
Wow.
guest.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah, he does look a little weird now that he's skinny.
Yeah, it blows me out. It blows,
He still wears like huge
blows-
clothes.
yeah.
Tim
It
just
blows
wished
me.
he blew
It
them.
blows me.
I've been to Jay and Silent Bob's secret stash up in Red Bank or whatever,
Yeah,
New Jersey.
it's like a weed shop.
It's a comic book store. There was a show.
Oh, for the show.
Yeah, Comic Book Man.
Okay, yeah.
I've been there.
Oh,
And the
okay.
guy, whenever they answer the store, the phone, they go, "Comics." And it was, which one was there? There was one of them there that checked me out and that was on the show. And I was just,
The
they were
bearded
just-
man, the Asian man.
No, it wasn't them. It was not Walt. It was the other guy.
Jesse.
I don't fucking remember. Tommy. No.
Kimberly. Tree.
Yeah, it was one of the guys on the show. He was there and he checked me out and everything. He's like, "Death of Superman. All right." And I got a little buddy Christ too.
Oh, fucking A.
I was
That's
like,
awesome.
Nice.
It was pretty cool. But, oh, sorry. Who's y'all's dream guest?
boys?
I mean, I've said Shaq, Post Malone.
Yeah, you failed at that, buddy.
Post Malone would be fucking.
You failed at Shaq.
Yeah, we definitely could have had Shaq if you would have continued.
Have you ever thought like reaching out to a celebrity and that does like autograph signings and then just say, hey, if we pay your fee or pay you so much, can you just come on our podcast?
I mean, that would have to be
Or
a
do you want it
thing
to be more
where
natural?
no, because like
don't
it's
wanna
kind of
pay
like how
anybody.
Lance did it. Like Lance
Yeah.
tried to get like a guy who did a voice on Naruto,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Hey, can you do this?" And he's like, "Look, I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna sound like shit. It's really noisy here. Like, get on my Cameo. It's cheaper, and I'll do I'll do like an intro for your fucking show."
Yeah.
And it's kind of the same thing. It really sucks because like, especially if they're like local artists or like actors, like I mean, it's kind of harder because they need to make their money. They got to make their
Yeah.
nut. But I mean, I would love Jason or Austin St. John
Yeah.
lives in fucking Addison or something.
Yeah. He
you know?
lives, he lives, I think, more in this area. Some guy that worked for him was in the mall one day looking for Power Ranger stuff, and I had some stuff. And then he was like, "Oh, I'm looking for like trading cards or something." And I remember I was like, "Fuck, I was like, I think I have like 25 trading cards at home. If you want," I was like, "I'll give them to him." But he liked to cut it out and use one of those button makers.
Yeah.
So if kids couldn't afford an autograph, he can give them a button. But he just wanted it Power Ranger related. So I went home and it turns out I had like 150 cards. And I realized the one I was thinking of was Space Jam cards. It was a 24 card set, but I had 150 cards, but it was all from the Power Rangers movie, and he wasn't in that movie.
Yeah.
But he was like, "Oh, that's fine." He's like, "As long as it's Power Ranger related." I was like, "All right, cool." So I just gave them to him, and then I was like, "Dude, ask him to come on the show." He's like, "Okay, I'll ask him," and then I never heard anything. So
But he was at the Collecticon the first year
Yeah.
when we were over there.
But David from 181 Comics, I think it was him. He said that the worst celebrity, or no, was it? Fuck. I don't think it may have been him. But he said the worst celebrity that he met was Austin St. John.
No shit.
Yeah, he said he mentioned something about, "Oh yeah, I remember doing this as a kid." But he goes, "Yeah, you and every other kid," and he was just like, "Wow." I was just like, "That's kind of an asshole."
That's one thing I wouldn't do. Like, I mean, if I
Yeah.
was like an actor like that who like
know.
was fucking performing for kids, I mean, you don't want to fuck their dreams up. Like, I mean, don't be a piece of shit.
Yeah.
You know, that sucks because
I know, because I was always like, "Man, it'd be cool," but I don't know. I'd still give him another shot.
I think
Maybe he's having a bad day.
Gil had everybody's autograph. Like, he had all the Power Rangers except for the yellow one, obviously. But I mean, R.I.P. But
This is an unpopular opinion, but I was never a fan of Power Rangers.
What? Get off my
Just
show.
never. I never got into it.
he was a
man.
big bad Beetleborg guy.
No, I
Were you
was.
into any of those?
he was
kind
into
of shows?
Barney.
VR Troopers.
No, I
Barney?
wasn't. I wasn't into any of the live action
Pornography.
Like superhero
Yeah,
kind.
no.
I like squid porn.
I was a big Ninja Turtles fan,
I love Ninja Turtles.
so that was like I would watch anything Ninja Turtles. But
Yeah.
Power Rangers, I just never got into
I
it.
love it all, man.
I love Power Rangers. Like, that was my biggest obsession. I don't know what it is about them, but it was almost like whenever I was a kid, I always wanted those toys, but I could never get them in the store. And then, like, I got them for Christmas. I was like, these are the coolest things. But
Yeah, I mean GI Joe.
We saw the Ninja Turtles last year
GI Joe, Ninja Turtles, and
at Collecticon. We saw him
was
get
the
up on
other thing?
stage with Vanilla Ice,
Yeah, it was
saying
funny.
"Go Ninja Go."
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, we got to see.
Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters was the other thing that I was like really obsessed with.
I've got the original Ghostbuster action figures.
That's
still.
pretty fucking cool.
I've got I don't have the backpacks for them, but I've got
but the actual
each
yeah.
four.
Oh, that's awesome.
Dude, I went to Walmart the other day. I was like walking to the toy aisle, and there was like all of these, like all the old Ninja Turtle toys.
Yeah.
made a comeback.
Yeah, they're like reproducing them now.
Yeah, they're like
just-
really.
even the ones you put the ribbon in and it talks, like it comes out. And
I think the one I saw, I could be wrong. I think it was the one where he has like the pizza shooter, he's
The van?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
he's holding a pizza box and it shoots a pizza.
yeah, he's holding the
uh-huh.
pizza box. It's like a pizza shooter.
We had the Donatello that was disguised that had a little face mask you could put in. It had like a little mustache and glasses and
I
stuff.
had a
like a
Donatello
pervert
that
with
you
with
could
yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
you
Look
would
at my wiener.
flasher.
you would push down on it and then it would flip.
Yeah, I had that.
I had that one. The Donatello that did that. Let's see what else.
Did you see the thing, like the interview with the Ninja Turtles coming out of our shell with Oprah? And they're like, hey, April, how about, like, why don't you ever, like, date some of the turtles? And one of them's like, yeah, we try to talk her into an interspecies relationship. And he's like, yeah. And then it pans over to kids, and they're like, it's the funniest. Have y'all not seen it?
No, this is real.
Oh, my God. I got to show y'all. I'll show y'all.
It's
whenever.
real?
That's funny
Like,
as shit.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Wow.
I'll show y'all whenever we're done.
The original question was, who would we have on the show?
Well, of course.
Take it about 5 steps back.
The Ninja Turtles, of course. No, I said Shaq or Post Malone. I'd like to have either one of them on.
Both of those would be great.
I feel like Post Malone would be really fucking cool to have on.
Yeah.
I think Seth Rogen would be
Yeah.
one of my top. that'd be a hell of a conversation, man. I'd love to sit down with him.
Donald Glover, just, to
That'd
talk
be
to
great.
him. And
Just to piss off Mike.
yeah, just to piss off Mike.
Jim
just,
Carrey.
no,
I bet he would
no.
go on some fucking rants.
He would, because I've
I
seen
don't
interviews of
want him.
him, and he's like, yeah, the pharmaceutical industry, they're blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah. I'm
it'd
like,
get
bro,
weird.
all right.
Yeah, he'd make it uncomfortable. Like,
Here, look, can I?
I feel like FBI agents are gonna.
I'm going to play this. Can I play this on the.
Yeah, just.
You have an iPhone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here,
What's
That was a.
That was.
caught me a marlin? Caught me a marlin.
all right, sorry.
I think we agree on the people, though. Like, I feel like all of those people we mentioned, all three of us
Yeah.
would enjoy having them on the show.
Yeah, keep talking.
one thing about
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Well, man.
And she won't do it.
She
Huh?
can't hold her breath. Man, I cracked myself up.
Oprah, I've been trying to talk her into an interspecies relationships for months now.
Whoa, Rap. Chill, man.
And she won't do it.
She
Huh?
can't hold her breath.
No, she can't do it.
The biggest problem is she can't hold her breath long enough, you know?
What the fuck?
Well, okay. Some of the turtles are going to perform their hit. I just wanted to say that
Fucking ridiculous.
Holy shit!
I had the biggest crush on April O'Neil, man.
It's because she had the big old fucking news
Which
reporter
one? Which
titties.
one did you like?
Cartoon, obviously.
The like live action.
Live
number
action,
one or
man.
two?
Oh, well, okay.
There was two different girls.
The first one.
The first one. I like
Yeah.
the second one better.
So, all right. I'm a huge fan of number
Titties.
one. Yes, I'm a huge titties. I see them everywhere. No,
see tits that are big,
the
that are white.
the first one and the third one.
It's weird.
I like the third.
I need to
Ninja
rewatch the third one because I grew up and
That
I
was the
had
Turtles
part
in
1
Time
and
one,
2.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the one where they went back to like
Yeah.
China or
Samurais.
Japan or
Japan.
something.
I mean, I'll be real. All three were great.
Yeah.
In my-
Yeah.
1 and 2 were like I loved 2 more than 1 because it had like a lighter tone to it and
Dude,
stuff.
I liked one because it was darker.
Now-
and Casey,
yeah.
man,
When I'm as older, I prefer number 1 because it has more serious tone and stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, it's beautiful.
What the fuck was our obsession with ninjas? You know what I mean? Like, back in the day, it was Ninja Turtles. It was like
Three
Every
ninjas.
every show we were a fan of, we were just beating each other up.
Yeah.
It's like he was always about ninjas, and now there's like no
Mortal
ninja
Kombat.
shows.
No.
There's like American Ninja, which is like a real thing, but no one gives a shit. It's like there's no actual ninja shows.
No. I'm trying to think.
what was the other?
American Ninja
There was
Warrior.
another like three ninja type.
There was a VR Troopers.
Yeah.
No. It was a movie.
There was like
it
a
Oh, movie?
competing surf ninjas.
surf ninjas.
Surf Ninjas.
Surf
Yeah.
Ninjas, yes.
Which
With
is,
Rob
that's the one-
Schneider in there.
Yeah, that's the one where they had the Game Gear and they're like,
That was actually really fun. Cool.
That
yeah.
that got me. That, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. That cheesy shit, like growing up was like, it was everything. Like I was going back, they got those. You send me a lot of '90s shit, but like I see like commercials. Like I saw one of the Power Ranger toys from McDonald's, and like the McDonald's store turned into a fucking Megazord, and I just remember like it takes me back, and like it's weird. Like you liked this stuff whenever you were growing up, and like now you're older. Like you're saying, everything was ninja. Like Ninja Turtles, Three Ninjas, VR Troopers, like fucking everything.
Power
Yeah, it
Rangers,
was just like
Well,
constant.
the
Double
Masked
Dragon,
Rider, Masked Rider,
Masked
yeah.
Rider. Like
The
it's fucking
Street Fighter, Mortal
it's
Kombat. Like everything
ridiculous.
is just fighting.
yeah, man.
Power
And, like,
Rangers was ninja, basically,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
it was, and they were just importing stuff from Japan, and it was like fucking wild and crazy, and we loved it. We didn't realize where it came from, but I mean, we just fucking
Oh yeah, it was colorful, and we.
yeah.
I
We
go
had our
back and
favorites.
watch movies that I loved growing up. Last Action Hero is one of my
Yes.
favorite
I
movies.
love that movie.
And it's funny is like there was a time like I went maybe I don't know 7 or 8 years where I hadn't watched it, I put it on there. I was like, oh man, Last Action Hero, I got to watch this. And I still had that same feeling as a child.
Yeah,
that
you
I did,
remember certain
right.
parts whenever you would recite them and like
I
act
loved
about your
it.
friends.
But
and
then
shit.
I also was able to separate him. Like, this really isn't a good movie.
This is awful.
No,
Like,
it's a horrible movie.
It's like
but-
Sonya Blade was Arnold Schwarzenegger's
No.
daughter.
but the fact that,
oh yeah, she was.
Yeah.
but then you start noticing as an adult, you watch that movie and it's like you see they're making fun of the cheesy action hero,
Yeah,
and it all kind of ties in and plays really well together.
I love. Did you have any of the action figures?
No, but
I
I
had
had
almost the whole fucking.
I had
set.
the soundtrack to that.
Did you?
It was such a good soundtrack.
I was such a fucking nerd from the Scholastic Book Fair or
Oh,
the
yeah,
book.
yeah.
The book.
Oh,
remember
man.
the book orders?
I couldn't afford
And
that
it's like,
shit.
I couldn't either.
My mom would do that, and then she would send me to school with a check for 95 cents so I can get this book I wanted. And then, but I remember getting the Last Action Hero book and reading it. It's
I
basically
had that
just
book
the
too, yeah,
script.
yeah.
And I would sit there, and it was like, oh man, mom thinks I'm reading.
I think I
and
got
I'm
that
watching
too.
a movie in my head.
Dude, that's fucking crazy. Like, you know, you don't realize like the bad guy was the fucking douchey dad from Game of Thrones. Like the
Benedict?
Oh, really?
Or,
yeah, the guy with the fucking eyeball.
Yeah.
Like the,
I never watched Game of Thrones.
you didn't watch Game of Thrones?
I watched like a few episodes, but I was like, fuck this.
Yeah, no, the last couple of seasons were.
I remember going to one of those book fair things, and my mom gave me a blank check, and I didn't know, and I ended up buying things not just for myself. I got like one thing for myself. I got one thing for my brother, and I got something for my mom. I spent $10. She flipped out because I don't think she had $10 in the bank account. To be completely honest with you, like she's like, "This is yeah." I mean, we were poor. She was doing the best she could just to get us ramen and shit.
What's that? Reba, just a woman who works. It never stops.
Yeah,
That your mom.
she's like, I don't know what the fuck, we can't return this shit. What the fuck are we gonna do? And I was like, so excited that I got them gifts. And I was just like,
Mom, I got two presents. I have provided for the family.
she's like, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, but no, but we can't eat for the next week.
I know. Fucked up.
Well, I hope I can eat this.
Fuck. All right. What questions next?
I remember wanting a.
Did we not finish?
No, we finished that. Yeah,
I finished that
Oh,
like a
I
while ago.
finished.
I remember wanting
before,
a.
right?
I wanted a book, and it was Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Okay.
I was in the fourth grade, fifth grade. I don't know, fourth grade.
Fucking nerd.
I saw
your
the
chili
book.
bowl.
I just saw it said Dracula, and I was like, I want this book. I didn't have enough money, and my teacher bought it for me.
Aw.
Did you like eat her?
God damn. No, because you couldn't hold his breath long enough.
I was like 11 years old, man.
Hey, you think Mary Kay
years old,
Letourneau
man.
cared?
Oh man. I miss book orders and shit.
Me too, man. Like, you know, I see stuff for like book fair. Now it's all digital. Like,
Really?
yeah, it is.
Okay.
Like, even like for like raffles and like giveaways and shit like that. Like my nephew, like they're like, oh, here's a link. Like, go ahead and buy stuff and give your person points, and they'll get a prize.
Do
Like,
kids
it's-
still sell the chocolate and shit?
They
Get,
do.
like the
Yeah,
big
they
prizes
do.
and
They
stuff.
do, and then occasionally you'll see the ones that are actually faking it, and they'll come up to the bars and stuff like that that aren't kids. They're like adults trying to get.
Yeah.
Yes.
Buy my kids chocolate.
It reminds
I'll
me
take
of
you home.
It reminds me of that guy. What was it? Office Space. The guy walks up the door and he knocks on the door. He's like, I was addicted to crack.
Yeah.
and I am selling magazines.
Look, man.
Or those people that sell bread when they're walking.
So
That's
won-
real.
You remember the passport?
The bread
book?
thing's real.
The bread, yeah,
Yes.
it's that church that's right down here, man.
It's
a-
like an alcoholics
Yeah.
thing. It's like actually it's one of
in
the
the old
most
Super Save.
successful one of the most successful programs to get alcoholics sober, and it's like part of the process. And it's like
Selling
they've got
bread?
like a 95%
It's
like,
banana bread. Banana bread.
success rate or some shit.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
man.
never
That
knew
sounds
that until
really
recently.
good.
Whatever, I can't remember what that place is called. It's right off of it's where Super Saves used to be, or Burris, man.
Victory
That church?
Victory Church. They make so most of the people that go, not all the people that go there, but there's a lot of like addicts that go there, and that's part of the program is they make
Banana bread?
and then they turn around and sell it to the community. They like
Is
go
it
door-
like meth?
No, it's
dealers,
really
or
good too.
no.
How about
It's
some
like
It is
that
good.
Know
I'm not
how to
gonna
use
lie.
like
I don't know, man. Yeah, they know their measurements, man. Yeah,
is
I
good.
don't know. It's weird though. I still don't buy from them though.
I have. I did
What a
once.
fucking asshole. Oh, yeah, bread's good, but fuck those guys, right?
Yeah.
Go back to drinking booze, you pussy.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
No, I don't like. I'm not a big fan of. I don't like banana nut bread. That
He's
much.
like, I don't like ethnics
I love
selling
it.
me things.
It's delicious.
Banana nut bread is fucking amazing.
You're American. You don't deserve that
beer.
mustache if you don't like banana.
Yeah,
bread.
right?
I like my banana pudding.
I haven't had banana pudding in forever.
Did you just say ethnics?
Yes. I'm an ethnic.
Hardly.
I'm an ethnic.
And I definitely don't want you selling me anything.
I'm an ethspic.
Oh,
Whoa.
Okay.
I'm Mexican. I can say
Hey,
that.
pal.
Oye,
It's a
muchacho.
family show.
Yo hablo español.
he did that to us a few weeks ago.
Did I?
Yeah, you said the same thing a few weeks ago.
But you said my bean-loving mother. I mean, so that was...
Well, I was trying to make it better. I corrected you.
I'm going to grab another beer, Jared.
Okay, you want to do a second?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh my
you go.
gosh.
Nice.
Roll it over to me like one of them homeless people.
Okay.
All right, cool.
That works.
So this is your would Tell us what else would you like to talk about?
I don't know.
What?
There we go. I went ahead and fucked up the
So,
dynamic
You
of the
broke
show.
him.
I wanted to talk a little bit just about your show, like
Okay.
the ins and outs, like the history of it, because I don't feel like y'all really talk about that a lot.
Well, the three of
anymore.
us, we've talked about it on the show.
Yeah.
But we've never really, being on your show, when was the last time we had the three of us on something? Never. Right?
Yeah.
This is the first time.
That's what I was
We
thinking.
were
I
on
was-
course one time.
Y'all were on,
Oh, yeah.
Fort Worth Roots. Didn't you all
No.
go on there?
I think
No,
this is the second time all three of us have been on another
Well,
podcast.
Javier showed up at the very end, but y'all were on his
Oh,
100th
yeah, yeah.
episode thing or whatever.
Andrew's thing.
His
Oh,
little,
Yeah, that's right. That is true.
and
Yeah.
then the corks, her uncorked thing. I
But
feel
we
like.
also did an episode with her.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay.
Tim peed like 8 times.
I did not. I
Didn't
peed-
y'all have like
I literally
different
peed
brown
one.
bags or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah, she was a badass and brought us like these really shitty beers.
So
You
we
had a
dr-
Four Loko.
We
or
were
something,
playing
didn't you?
roulette. It was
Yeah.
brown bag roulette, and I drank because we recorded twice. We recorded 2 shows, right? And so we were drinking the first one, and then we did the brown bag thing, or vice versa, or whatever. And I had this Four Loko that I had to finish, man, and that was, dude. I'd been drinking so much, I had to pee. I couldn't help it.
Yeah.
It also had more alcohol content or concentration than any of the rest of y'all.
yeah, it makes
Dude,
you
they're
pee.
It
fucking
makes you pee
stout.
more.
No, it doesn't.
It is a proven fact.
All right, send me the research.
All right, I'll send you the research.
But no, I just love the way, things kind of happened and worked. They had the conversation where, they were in Colorado and they were laughing at jokes and, they had the idea.
All right, stop right there. We were talking about dick flowers.
Hey, by the way,
Let's get into that.
I was at Nickel City the other day, and there was this calendar on the back. And I looked, and I was sitting next to Sarish, and it looked like there was a dick flower. I shit you not. I was looking at this calendar, and I looked at the bartender, Fern. I was like, is that a dick flower? And he's like, and then he turned the page, and there was like an island that looked like a dick. And he just kept turning. It was like a dick-filled calendar. And sure enough, I want to show y'all this. There is a dick-shaped
It's going
flower.
to be a picture of his penis.
I've been actually wanting to show y'all this, and I keep forgetting. No, that's just
Perfect. He
All
came
right.
up on my show.
So
Dick flower.
I'm going to talk about this just for a second. So we were sitting at was it? It
was a brewery.
Was it Left Hand? I feel like it was Left Hand Brewing.
Yeah, it was Left Hand Brewery,
So
north
we're,
of Denver.
we're at Left Hand Brewing. We're sitting there and we're having this conversation about basically what if flowers were dicks and how they would pollinate, by splooging everywhere. And then could you imagine? And we were just talking about that, and then we were like, could you imagine someone someone puts a new billboard up and it's this supermodel, and then all the dick flowers are at full mast and they're pollinating like crazy because of that.
Yeah.
And so we're just talking about this whole thing, and we're laughing, we're having such a good time, and this guy walks up to us. And this guy walks up to us, and he doesn't know who we are. Oh, yeah,
Oh
man.
my god.
Yeah,
Look
that's
at
a
a little
flower.
dog wiener.
Right.
Yeah,
It is.
right.
I don't know if you can.
It's like a big old veiny triumphant one.
So anyways, he walks up.
You can see the outline.
He walks up to us. He's like, "Hey, y'all look like y'all are having a good time. I don't know what y'all are laughing about, but do you mind if I just hang out and listen to your conversation?" And we're like, "Yeah." And we go right back into talking about dick flowers. And that dude had this look on his face like,
What the fuck did
He
I
was-
get
he
into?
was
He was
right?
disgusted, just absolutely disgusted.
How hilarious would it be
You
if it
boys
was-
need Jesus.
But it made us laugh because we're like, man, they thought we were having such a good time. We're funny. We should do this. But it took us, 5 years?
Yeah, it took us a long time, and then it really wasn't until Forever Reckless started doing their podcast, and we knew both people on that podcast. You knew Mariella,
At the
and
time,
I knew Jordan.
I knew Mariella.
Not
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
but right.
No, I knew her pretty well.
Okay. Well. So I reached out and I was like, hey, like, what does it take? Like, y'all been doing this for 6 months or so now. Like, what does it take to make this happen? And we had started the Funky Panther Instagram, I think.
No,
or
it was the
something like
Trace
that.
crew. Trace crew.
Yeah,
On
that's right.
Twitter. On Twitter.
Yeah, or something. And because I remember she was replying and we were both replying back to her, something like that. But we got some information and we started putting it together, and Tim and I think Jesus made all the sound equipment work.
Yeah, so Jesus had like he had what he uses to like do his live stuff,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And so basically we took his mixer.
Who's
like,
a buddy
not
of
his
ours.
mixer,
He's
but
also a musician. Yeah.
we took his PA system essentially and plugged all these mics in there, and then we ran it out to my cell phone and recorded into GarageBand.
That's so awesome.
And we did 4 takes that first
And
night.
we got really drunk. And I remember I got a picture of us like everything like
fucking
connected.
hammered.
And it was funny because we were listening to everything. Roy had to leave. And then like we're like, all right, let's just bang out a quick 30 minutes. And the way we were doing it, we're like, all right, we'll point to each other, whoever is going to talk next. We had no idea what we were doing.
Yeah.
And so like, that was the first episode that we have out on for the Funky Panther. And man, it was really fucking great. I mean, I had a lot of people like, cool, like, Rick's Cabaret. And I even got like messages for like inside jokes. Like somebody asked me, we're going to get a good steak. Oh, Rick's, but I mean, stuff like that. And
Well, we blew our load prematurely with that first
usual.
episode, because that first episode was like, let's just talk about all our favorite places in Fort Worth, right?
Yeah.
And we did, and then we're like, episode 2, what the fuck are we gonna
Yeah,
talk
that was
about
going to
now?
be all the podcast was going to be, period. And we
Favorite
ruined
places
it.
in Fort Worth.
We
Yeah,
also,
just like our 4 favorites.
Javier mentioned that we did 4 takes that first day and we drank a lot. There was also going to be like 5 or 6 of us on the podcast. Like there was way too many people.
Yeah.
And so, we were getting so late that's when one of the guys fell off, and we're like, okay, 4 makes a little bit more sense. Like we can actually make it work and not talk over each other.
Yeah.
But it was still, I mean, like the yell, that came out of nowhere. The name of the podcast came out that same night. Like everything happened that one night, just on like a drunken stupor. Like we were all just trying to figure it out. We didn't know if we were posting it or not.
Brainstorming sessions
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
Dude, yes. Oh, fuck.
it was very weird how it all happened. And then like, of course we were, I think 2 or 3 episodes in, and then COVID happens.
Yeah.
And we were kind of like, well, the day everything was kind of shut down was National Margarita Day. And so me and Chad were out there like, we got to get margaritas. We're going to record. Like, COVID's going on. Everything's shut down. What do we do? Went out, got a bunch of fucking booze. And then that was the COVID
El Paseo.
episode. El Paseo.
Yeah.
And man, dude, the guy that was there working died like 2 weeks later from COVID.
Yeah, and
From
we're like, oh
COVID.
shit, we need to be more careful.
We didn't
Like,
know. We were like, well, fuck, man, what if we have it?
Did we give it to him?
And so like, we were, that's where we had the first like 2 episodes that were like on Zoom.
Yeah, we did some Zoom
It was
episodes or whatever.
awful.
Yeah,
it was so hard. To
And
do
then
that.
I think after that, that's whenever I'll say after the episode with Raphael,
Yeah.
like I think everything after that was upgraded. It just got better and better and better, and like things were kind of coming together. So
and then Jesus left, which again, you have 3 people. I think 3 people, anywhere between 2 and 3 people, is kind of the sweet spot, right?
Yeah.
And love Jesus to death. He knows I love him to death. But he and Javier on the same show is kind of rough because you
Yes.
just got 2 of that firecracker wild
herding cats.
The other thing about the other thing about Jesus was he was like, nah, man, we'll just wing it.
Yeah.
We'll just
Yeah.
wing it, man.
He,
Nah, it's cool. We'll just wing it.
the thing, I was at your house and you were making nachos or something, and somehow, or you were doing something else, and then you're like, they're going to be nachos instead. And I was just like, oh, they look like they've been into war or something, like Iraqi nachos. And he goes, Viet nachos. I could not stop laughing.
I mean, he's funny as shit.
Yeah.
But it was just,
It's
a
just
lot.
natural to him.
And
Yeah.
And every time we would, he's also very hard headed, obviously. But like we would try to say, hey, we want some kind of structure. We don't want to be like,
Nah, man,
everything's
we're just
lined
gonna
up
wing
where we
it.
can know exactly what we're going to talk about. But kind of like what the show is
It's
today,
cool.
right?
Yeah.
Tim comes prepared with some news. Javier's got sports. We've got some general content, but the conversations flow regularly.
Yeah.
But, like, at least we brought something. Jesus was dead adamant about us coming to the show with 0 notes and just figuring it out. And it was just kind of, I don't know, for me, it was stressful as shit.
Yeah.
But
'Cause it's like, what if I'm not funny tonight?
Right, exactly.
We don't know what we're going to talk
There
about.
are times where that, I mean, hell, that happens, but we
Yeah.
got to pull each other out, and I mean, we make it work.
Yeah.
And I mean, really, that's the kind of the whole concept of the show.
The weirdest thing about the show, though, that I found, and I don't know if y'all find this weird or not. I think we
harder
talked
dick,
about
right? Yeah, me too.
is the things that we release that we don't think is funny sometimes, and they'll just like pop off on social media. We're like, or the episodes that we all walk away with like, oh, that was terrible.
Yeah.
And people start text messages like, oh my gosh,
that
I
one
can
part where
re-"
this happened,
and we're like, man, that was a terrible
I didn't
episode.
think it was funny at all. It's great though. Like when you have that much content, like you're gonna hit some audience.
Yeah.
And so I think that's one of the hardest thing that we've had is like obviously long form content as podcasts. It's hard to hit everybody because no one wants to sit down. Not a lot of people want to sit down for an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours or more to listen to one particular podcast. And so it's hard. We're trying to get back down to an hour, hour 15, something like that. But then you got to have all the reels, the social media, and then you got to have the audio. And I mean, there's so much involved, and you're trying to hit all of these different people because people want different things.
Yeah.
But it is kind of cool to see, like Tim said, that we hit different audiences based off the random shit that we talk about.
In the last episode, we had during our live, I mean, we had like 13 or 14 people like that sat down and was just like interacting with us the entire time.
The entire episode.
Oh, yeah.
And then even after interacting with us on Twitter, like Gladys, who's like the DJ at UTA, like she was commenting back.
Is that who that was?
That's who that was.
Okay.
Yeah. And I didn't realize until like on Twitter, she sent us like a post like for beluga whales that are spies from what Tim was talking about.
See?
Yeah, she was the one mentioning the dolphins and the seals.
And she's like viewers or like listeners like that. It's very crazy because these feels like organic. Like we don't know her, like we've never met her, and she's listening. Or maybe somebody recommended that we the only person I know that worked at UTA Radio was our friend Eddie, and he doesn't. I don't think he listens. He doesn't listen. So I mean, it's just organic stuff, and it's really cool being able to see that kind of growth, or like seeing people follow us, or just there are people that like listen just to kind of like, oh well, hey, big fan. Also, can I promote this?
Yeah.
You see that a lot.
Yeah.
But, there are some organic listens and people that actually, the guys, Johnny G over there at the RAP.
Yeah.
And those two guys, they listen. They're usually pretty constant when it comes to their live feed.
Yeah.
And we love that. That's amazing. But,
That's my Tuesday night ritual. Like literally, I
love it.
I build my Tuesday night around that because I have to work on Wednesday. That's first, basically on Monday.
Yeah.
But Tuesday is, okay, 8 o'clock, I got to watch Funky Panther.
But also,
and I'll get like a snack and stuff and sit there and watch it like it's a TV show.
So like Jerry Jones does their live.
Yeah, they do it at the same time. And I've switched back and forth a couple times, but a lot of time I don't really know those guys at all. Like I've never met them really. They were at the McFly's one time. One of them was.
Yeah. Man, I don't know if they're going to be around much longer.
Why?
Dude, that last episode was, and I was going to go back because I
Listen
was
to the last 4 minutes of their most recent episode.
Like after we recorded, I was like, man, they're live. I'm going to jump back. I'm going to jump on and see what they're doing. And I didn't because I had to like talk to my girlfriend or whatever. But it was like, I was listening the next day, and Tim's like, listen to the last 4 minutes. I'm like, oh. Fuck.
Like I kind of want to play it, but I don't want to.
No.
I
that
kind
shit
of
was-
want to hear it.
Well,
That shit was very
like-
fucking awkward. Like Dustin, he's a fucking trooper. I think Dustin's more the fucking Chad of the Jerry Jonestown. And like Stubbs is,
What did they say?
bro.
Oh, no.
They just had a falling out there
They
at the last
had
bit.
a blowout.
They've been
man.
drinking and
between
stuff
them
like
two?
so. Who knows what's going to happen?
Oh, okay.
And they've been going straight for like, 5 years? Like without missing an episode?
Yeah.
No, all 9.
All 9?
All 9 years they
yeah.
have not missed a week.
So, that's-
We miss weeks all the time. We for
Yeah,
mental
yeah.
health. we
Months.
have
Are you
to.
It
kidding
pisses
me?
me off because I'll be sitting there, I'm like checking Instagram. I was like, are they having a show? Fuck, they're not even having a
Bro,
show
that's
tonight.
so that shit doesn't happen. Because if we were doing that shit every week like they did, we'd for sure have blowouts. It's rough.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work and
It's
a lot
stressful,
of
too.
It is.
Oh yeah.
And there are times like we were talking about it. I'm like, I'm glad we're level-headed enough not to fucking blow up like that. And Chad's like, well, after 9 years, I mean, probably.
But I mean, I even think like, I don't think we would ever blow up live. You know, I think we'd probably shut everything down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to piss real quick. Y'all.
Okay.
All right, I have a question.
Okay.
So,
Hey, Javier.
Jared, you're asking us about us. What is your favorite? I want to know ours too, because I'm just curious. What is your favorite thing about podcasting? What's your favorite part of doing this?
I don't know. I love to entertain. I love to make people laugh. I love to be that source of entertainment for them. And it just always brings me joy whenever people like comment or text me and say, "Oh my God, this part, that was so funny," or whatever. And I love it whenever I hear people enjoy my shit. Like that's the coolest part for me.
Hell yeah.
So, what y'all's?
Man, I just like I like hearing my own voice. No. I mean,
Sounds sexy.
Honestly,
have you heard this voice, boy?
honestly,
Man voice.
what it was is the opportunities that I've had. That's what I was honestly like. I didn't know if we would get any opportunities. It was just a way for us to get together and hang out as friends.
Yeah.
And just shoot the shit and talk about whatever the fuck we wanted to talk about on our own platform and not have to worry about it. I always dreamed of being a radio DJ.
Since Russ Martin, I wanted
mine
to be
was
like
before
a talk
that. Like
radio,
I didn't want to be talk radio. I wanted to go in there and I wanted to curate my own music and I wanted to play it and I wanted to be like, and this is blah blah blah, whatever. And then I found out that that's not the thing. Like you have a program director. They say you can play these songs. These songs have to play in this hour. You can rearrange them however you want, but you have to play these songs.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh fuck that. Why would I want to do that, right? And so this was a way to kind of live that childhood dream of mine, but also the opportunities that we've had and the people that we've gotten to meet have been amazing. We always joke because I'm the one who doesn't like to go out. Like I'm just like, man, I'm tired. I want to go home, whatever. I'm very much a homebody. But even with that being said, I have enjoyed the opportunities that I've had.
Yeah.
And again, the people I've met. I mean, we met organically. We meet Sage. Not organically, Sage. Sage kind of hit us up.
It was organic.
It was organic.
We were talking about wanting Sage, who just like I was thinking about this the other day, just because Sarah asked me how we knew Dustin, and I was like, I don't remember.
I do.
And so we were talking about wanting to get this guy who ran a hemp CBD, farm
that guy.
out in Lido.
Yeah.
And we're like just infatuated with this guy that is running an entire, like, essentially a marijuana farm, but it's for CBD, right? And we're like, this guy's fucking amazing. How cool would it be if we had him on the show? And we had really only had friends on. You know what I mean? Nothing against them. We had Raphael from 817 Vintage. We had JOE. We had people that
we had Jared.
right behind you.
I was like, you motherfucker.
It was mostly friends. And so he reached out at the same time we were having these conversations.
Yeah.
He reached out on social media.
It was Kismic.
And he was saying like, hey, what would you think about promoting my product on your show? And I was like, I got one better for you. How about you fucking just come on the show? Because we were talking about this like a week ago, and we'd love for you to come on.
How stressful was it, though? Just the fact that we had to prepare for an actual guest who actually had a business,
So we all share the social media, and like we all saw it at the same time, and we didn't respond. All three of us are texting each other, who's going to respond? Who's going to say it? Who's going to... And like now it's no big deal. But at the time, it was so stressful trying to figure out what we're going to do. Even the response back to him on Instagram was like, what the fuck? He's not that big of a deal. He's awesome. He's an amazing dude. We love him to death. Yeah. But it's not like he's fucking Seth Rogen,
Yeah. It was just fucking weird, though. And then he was like, after the show, he's like, hey, you got to have this musician on. He's really great.
Holy fuck. It's fucking crazy.
He's an excellent musician. He's blah, blah, blah. His name's Dustin Massey. You got to check him out. We're like, okay, cool.
Dude.
And so then we get Dustin on, and I mean, Dustin, you've hung out with him since recently, and I feel like he is that kind of guy that like we could get together even like after being apart for like 5, 10, 15 years and just pick right back up and start having great conversations with him again and have a good time. But it's because of things like that's why I really enjoyed this, because I've met some really cool individuals.
Yeah, sure.
Jordan, what was the question?
Hold on.
Jordan,
let him finish. I'm going to do it, and then you.
Yeah, Jordan. I mean, I kind of knew her, but I didn't really know her.
Right.
And because of Jordan, now I'm good friends with Lance, and Lance is my concert buddy, and so we go to a lot of concerts together, and it's just wild how it all kind of played out.
So I got to say, at the Memorial Day thing, it literally felt like partying with celebrities. Like, to me. Like a semi, it's not on that full level, but it's like partway there.
Right.
You're like,
Because it's just like,
no, not
dude,
Corks.
this guy's from this podcast. They do that podcast. Oh, man, that's so cool. They're there. It's just, it's cool. And I'm like, I feel like I'm a part of it. I'm just like,
I'm glad you came out. Yeah.
oh, yeah, I had a freaking blast. So.
So the question was, it was Jared answered and Tim answered, like, why, what is your favorite part about doing the podcast? And for me, I feel like it's kind of evolved. Like, first off, we started by, it was a reason to hang out. Like, we needed a reason to hang out other than going to the bar or whatever, you know? And so it was just a reason for the dudes to hang out. And then it turned into, like, let's evolve this. We can make this into a thing. And then when we won our first Best Stuff award, we flipped out. Like, we didn't know what to do. Like, we got recognition for something.
Yeah.
And then you feel like you're actually doing something. You're being successful on something that you didn't know anything about 6 months ago. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't know how to do the things you're doing. You didn't know any of the people you're having on. Like, it was just all new.
Well, first of all, it was like the first award, like you and I were together, and I think it was just really nervousness. Because the issue came out, and the thing that sucked was like Tim wasn't there.
I was fucking pissed when y'all announced it.
We won the magazine before that, right?
No.
Yeah, we won magazine before
but
that.
It was the Fort Worth Weekly, and that's what we were pushing for. I was
weekly,
I saw that shit, and I was fucking livid. I was so mad.
And I think it sucked because my girlfriend and her friend were Angelo's, and they get the weekly, and I had told them, like, hey, the weekly comes out today, like, and she kind of more or less like ruined it. Like, it kind of felt like they were thinking, oh, they know they won, and she's like, yeah, it says here y'all won, and I was like, what? And we didn't believe it, and then we saw that it was editors, and they had a little write up, and so it really did, like, honestly suck. Like, I mean, me and Chad were fucking ecstatic. We were drinking.
It was at Oktoberfest.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, and so we had already been drinking heavily.
But it really did. I mean, honestly, if it had been the three of us, I would have rather us three celebrate and black out and party. But I mean, I just wish it were. I think it was more like being nervous that the fact that, hey, it's the anticipation. Like, if we didn't win, we didn't win. But if we did, I want to see it. I want to see it. But man, I really wish it would have been the three of us. I mean, it fucking sucked. Honestly, it really did suck.
It should have been, but it wasn't, and we didn't quite think about it. Like, we were just excited because I think we assumed we might get Reader's Choice again, but that was the first time we had a Critics' Choice and an actual little blurb. And so we had a write up. These people have seen the show and they've written a little paragraph about what we do, and we still have it on our website because we're that proud of it. But I think the next thing was like getting those accolades. I would say like it was the growth in accolades. But then for the past 2 years, I would say the main reason for me why I want to do this is the same reason Tim did, is like the people we've met has just been nuts.
Yeah.
Like the doors that are open for you. Like, we've got a drink in a bar now. We've met all these like bar owners and restaurant owners and musicians, and it's just like it's hard to go somewhere and not saying, it's not like we're anybody, because we're not, but it's hard to go somewhere and not know somebody or have someone know you, which is really fucking cool. It's just like a really good feeling. I mean, and of course we're in a big city, but it's a small town. Everyone knows each other, and so it's kind of cool to have that.
Kind of like a local celebrity.
Right, like, local nobody.
Fort Worth famous. Fort Worth famous.
Yeah.
But I mean,
what about you?
Like me, I think. What was the question again? Say it again.
What is why do you do what you do? Like, what makes you the happiest about doing a podcast?
I mean, I think that the reason, if we were not doing this podcast, I do not know where my life would have been, because I would have not know. Hopping on to Lou Charles's Instagram live, and then like him going off and saying, making fun of me, like, hey, your fucking AC's out. Like, how the fuck did that happen? He's like, I can't wait to see where you like fucking Chad was like sweating. And, he's like, I'm excited to hear the point where you're like, it's 84 degrees. And like, it's just crazy having these, like, I want to say famous people, because like they're great fucking artists and rappers, and we're able to know who they are. And more power to those guys, because they're the real fucking musicians. We're the real artists. They're putting out the work.
Creating.
Like Roan, J-Boy, Lou,
Ernie,
Joe, Ernie,
Dustin, all of them.
Dustin, like everyone we've met, everyone that we've had the pleasure to like interact with, the guys at the RAP podcast. It's probably you, Emo Taku, Ballbag, because I'm a part of that shit. But
Sort of.
it's work, man. It's work.
I know.
But the fact that like if this podcast wasn't here, dude, would I be here? Honestly, would I seriously? I mean,
Yeah.
I can't think of it's very deep to talk about, but
It's definitely a good life driver. It keeps us busy. It keeps us active. It keeps us creating.
Oh, for sure.
Like
this is my 100% creative
me
outlet.
horny.
like the boys, like Chad and Tim, like seriously. Me, like with like my life, like I wish I can do half or a quarter of the things that these guys do.
Yeah.
Like I cannot. These guys make everything work. These guys are the fucking machine. They're the Funky Panther. They make it. Like they're the reason why.
No,
Is this your retirement?
With this, I announced my farewell. No, but
this wouldn't work. We've already talked about it. If one of us bailed, we would quit.
Dude,
we have to quit.
yeah.
This doesn't work without the three of us.
I would have to start my own show.
Yeah,
up.
porn
that's what I was
stars.
going to say. Would
Two-
y'all start your own?
2 porn stars follow us.
Yeah, on
What?
On social media.
That's kind of fucking cool.
Like, I mean, it's just that kind of thing that
we met porn stars
The childish
because the Funky Panther.
The childish thing of me. I've met a girl in Austin during the fight that I know on OnlyFans that I subscribe to. Like, and I was like, hey. Big fan. Can I get a picture? I haven't posted.
Also, do you want a drink?
I haven't posted that picture because I look like a fucking idiot. I'm just like I feel like a fucking church boy. Like I'm like, but like just that, and I mean it's wild. Like it's fucking crazy. We were at a fucking fight where a guy was on TV and he was a fucking fighter.
He was on our show.
It's fucking crazy.
A couple months
So
before.
fucking cool.
It's like even thinking of it now, and like I cannot think of another fucking. I don't want to do a show where other than Ballbag where we meet sports people. Thanks to, what's his name?
Mark Cuban?
No, yes, Mark Cuban. Zach Bunzik. He's a fucking coach at for the Dallas Wings.
Yeah,
one of the coaches.
Was he?
He was a year above.
He was that
you.
real tall guy with the spiky hair.
Yeah.
He was so
really
fucking
good basketball
cool.
Great
player.
fucking guy. One of the most coolest real people I've ever met. But like, I cannot think of another show where I can meet these people and not have these guys with me because we went through everything. We got the invites to South by Southwest. And that was like when we had that. It was like an amazing feeling.
Yeah.
And then getting the news from Fort Worth Magazine like in February, like, hey, Reader's Choice Best Of, you got it.
Yeah, we can't announce that shit for 3 months. Like they just launched that article yesterday, and we knew about it 3 or 4 months ago, and we can't say anything.
Can't say a thing.
But I told people.
It is.
This is the first
You
time.
tell me, fucker.
This is the
I
first
told my
time where I
family,
did.
you know.
This is the first time I didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Like the past 2 years, I was like, "Hey, we won Reader's Choice," and like I think the reason being because like my dad's still like, "Oh, okay, you making money off of it yet?"
No.
All right, no. All right,
Shut
don't
up,
talk about
idiot.
it. So I mean,
Yeah, I made a touching ad for him.
you did, and I showed him. He's like, I showed him. He's like, "Where's that playing?" I'm like, "On my podcast." Oh, okay.
Stupid.
Also, no one hears it. Okay.
But it still hits just as hard as the first time. You know what I mean? Like when we have really cool, fun guests or even just friends on the show, when we get awards, when we get invited to events, Ernie's wanting us to MC something in July that we're probably going to do now.
Yeah.
And that is just as exciting as it was 3 years ago when we first started this. And so like, it's one of those things like, I don't know if I'll ever get numb to these experiences. You know what I mean? Like famous people obviously do, like the Power Ranger dude you were talking about earlier.
Man, I get people to come up to me all the time, and I'm just like, all right,
Fuck
cool.
off, dude. I'm
I'm jerking off right now, man. Get away
Trying
from
to
me.
eat a fucking waffle. Get away from me, kid.
It's still awesome. It's still fun. It's still, and it's not that big of a deal, but, it feels awesome to be a part of something like that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's fucking cool. And especially when I have other like podcasts on that are guests, like, and they get here and I think it was Johnny and Jay from RAP. They got there and they were just like, oh man, it's like, dude, it's like meeting celebrities. It's like, what, us? It's like, how? And they're like, we just see your stuff, you know. It was them or the canceled show, one of them. I was just like, it was just so cool. Like hearing that, I was like, oh man, I got a boner.
It's crazy because, like, I mean, whenever we started, there wasn't that big of a community, and now, like, looking at it now,
grown so much.
It's fucking ridiculous, and that's a great thing.
So much so that I show up at podcasts and PBR, and they don't know who we are.
That's bullshit because Robin has a lot to do with the Pod Squad, the Forward Pod Squad.
Yeah,
but like we do too. You know what I mean? Like. I think it's probably Lance it's probably you, Corks and Cowtown, and us that started this whole like movement to try to get everyone together and do things. And then she puts these get-togethers out there, and we start group texts, and we work with Fort Worth. Visit Fort Worth to get everyone on a website. Like it's cool to see that kind of collaboration in a community that you would assume to be. Butt heads because, I want more listens than you. You know what I mean? Like, or views or whatever. But it's not. It's just a family community.
Dude, and honestly, like, that's the way, and I've talked about it on the show before. That's how I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be like we found out there was Corks in Cowtown, and I was like, man, fuck them. Like, I was like, hey.
Oh, I still say
West
that.
Side, motherfucker.
I still say that about Fort Worth Roots.
They got best of when we first started, and we're like, fuck them. Next time, we're getting it.
But I mean, like, at the time it was like, well, you listen to their stuff and we're like, man, you know what? But we could do better shit than they do. Like, they ain't shit. Like, these other podcasts, man, fuck them. Like, but like it grew over time, and it was weird meeting each other for the first time and being able to connect.
I'll tell you what I think Robin is the one that the reason that I kind of like lost that edge is because we were having an event on video during COVID where we had some musicians on. We were trying to raise money for charity during Christmas. And while, we had never met Robin or Corks Cowtown, or really, I don't think any of the podcasters, especially during COVID, right? Like we just know each other by listening to each other.
Yeah.
We had this event. We didn't tell anyone about it except for all our social media. She goes on her podcast and says, man, I'm really excited about this event that the Funky Panther's putting on. They're going to be raising money. And I'm like, fuck, how do you hate somebody? It's like that nice. Like,
yeah.
But at the time, and also it was like, said her name.
I was like, what is this motive that she has?
It was also, I screen recorded and sent it to the guys, I think. It was like, she said Funky Panther. She said Funky Panther on her podcast.
That you talk about the one where Zeus sang on it?
Yeah.
That is my favorite episode because the song he did at the end, that bells will be ringing.
Yeah.
And I was just, that song like gave me chills. And I was just like, hearing him sing it was the best thing. I was just like, oh. And then I think I won something on the giveaway or something.
He did that from Egypt.
Yeah.
Right?
He
did.
Yeah.
Holy shit. What a wild year.
Him in. I need to figure out how to like, do people like
in the butt?
Zoom or
I can help you with that.
Yeah, I need to figure that out one day because I've got like I keep saying like I've got a cousin up in Colorado and stuff that would probably want to be on the show, and other people. Jared has some people that are in other states and everything that would want to be on the show.
Bad.
So
Yeah, it's pretty simple.
yeah, I know it is. I just have never done it. So. Because I pretty much, most of the shit I learned from y'all. So, because y'all are the reason I wanted to start podcasting, because down in San Antonio, I think I was listening to Kevin Smith's podcast or whatever, him and Jaden Silent Bob Get Old or whatever it is. And that's when I first found out about podcasting. And then I'd moved down to San Antonio and I was hanging out with Danny. He's like, did you know Chad, Javier, and Tim started a podcast? And I was just like, really? And then I was like, what's that? He's like, oh, it's just kind of like a radio show that's on the internet you can listen to. I was like, okay. So I started listening to it. And I was like, dude, this is cool. And then whenever y'all did the Patreon thing, and it said like donate $50 a month and be on the show, I was like, done. I was like, I'm gonna be on the show. And then I had so much fun doing it. I was like, okay, and then y'all came down, and
Dude, that was a very fun weekend.
Yeah,
and then going to eat at that. I was single at the time. The fucking waitress,
Viola's.
Or was I single? I was single at the time.
Yeah,
but such a great. That was our first like live spot, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the first time we left. We had one episode at Danny's with Jesus.
Yeah,
I think, and then we had another episode with you at your place.
Yeah,
and then we had the fucking chips, the fucking
Oh yeah,
chips.
shit.
One
I
chip.
forgot about
fuck those
that.
chips.
The hot chip.
Bro, you were fucking puking.
I know
fucking
because I
balls.
drank so much chocolate milk.
Yeah.
Because the only thing that helped it is I had that half gallon of Silk almond chocolate milk, and I kept drinking that, and it would, if I let it sit in my mouth, it was fine, and then it would lose the coolness of it, and then it would just start burning again, and then I puked up all that, and then I was fine. So.
Nice.
But yeah,
We
but then,
still got those one chips that we got to.
I
No.
did you grab? You got the one?
yeah,
from
I've got the
yeah.
one here.
Okay, so the only reason why I didn't want to eat it, because I'm not opposed to doing it,
Yeah,
but the reason why I didn't want to eat it is because we were turning around and driving back.
yeah.
Oh
And
yeah.
my stomach, dude, spicy stuff will hit me, and then it's like, bye bathroom.
Dude, I had to
Yeah.
hold my fucking bladder because like my asshole would have fucking been destroyed. Like it would have been fucking
But
crazy.
yeah, y'all did that, and then I was just like, well, how can I get back on this show? And I was like, I live down here. I was like, fuck. I was like,
And then
Man.
Jared moved back to Fort Worth just so he could be on the Funky
yeah,
Panther.
I'm back, boys. If you need a guest,
That's why
no.
I quit QT, and just so he could come on the show.
No, I was. That's when I came up with doing my own show. I was like, I should do my own show, and then I was like, everyone's, what are you going to do about it? What's the subject going to be? I was like, I have a subject. I just want it to be whatever we feel like talking about that day. I just want it to basically sound like you're listening to your friends and sitting around the garage, drinking and
Yeah.
just talking to each other.
And
stuff.
a lot of our friends were like, even here recently, it's like it feels like I'm like with you guys, and we're having a conversation.
Yeah.
It's,
And especially that's what I love about Tuesday nights, because I can message in there and stuff, and y'all will say it on there and talk about me, and I'm just like, this is so cool. It's like an interactive experience.
Do you ever, like, whenever you're listening to yourself, like on your own show, like, do you ever respond to like somebody like asks you something and you say what you said on the show?
Yes,
You're like,
all
"Oh,
the
fuck."
time.
Yeah.
Because obviously I get highly inebriated on this show, and I don't remember everything it said. So whenever I finally listen back to the show, I'm like, oh my God, and then I start answering my own things. I was like, I should say this here. And then I say it, and I'm just like, oops, there it is. So, well, I think y'all's time limit is a little bit up, but
Man,
thank
we had
you
fun.
guys. Yeah.
Thank you so much for having us on.
Don't you fucking speak for me.
My time limit's fine.
I am
If you want to go, I'm
You're
not
the one
gonna
that was
lie.
late. You're the one that was late.
I
So.
was whatever, man. I was like
just say-
working
I was
man.
6 minutes late.
These pants I have on are super tight in the thighs.
Are they really?
Are
Are you regretting that decision?
No, not at
Are
all.
you going to pull a Ross later on in my
You fucking
bathroom?
put fucking-
They're not coming on, man.
You get fucking lotion on his goddamn legs.
All right. Well, thanks to the Funky Panther guys, Tim, Chad, and Javier, coming on. If you ever want to check them out on YouTube, Tuesday nights usually at 8 o'clock, right?
Yep.
Tuesday
Yeah.
at
That's
8
your
o'clock
time
live.
slot.
Yeah.
So,
And on all social media at the Funky Panther.
yep. So check them out. They are definitely fun. They are why I got in this gig and blah, blah, blah. So
No, I love you, man.
thank you guys. It's a treat to have y'all on.
And that's the bottom line.
Because Jared said so.
Correct.